Hello, hello everyone. I'm MVL and welcome to an MVL Gaming live stream. Today we're going to take a look at my entire PlayStation 2 collection. This is over 250 games and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be hidden gems and absolute classics included as well. Had to rearrange my shelves slightly to my side here. I'll give you a look of how I'll be doing this. I'm going to be pulling from this area over here, and that's how I'm going to do it. I've also got games on the floor and stuff like that as well, but that is mostly how I have set this up to go. So we're going to start off right now, and as we begin, I would like to talk about how PlayStation 2 games look in Europe. So this is the first one I'm going to start with. I count this as 0. The Agent Collection 007 is where I'm going with that. We have GoldenEye Rogue Agent and 007 Everything or Nothing. Two pretty good games in a collection here. I like how this case is set out as well. It looks really nice. I'm a big fan of how that looks. It looks pretty cool with the Bond style posters on the back. And yeah, so the sides of the games, or more accurately I should probably show you this side of the actual side of the games. The games themselves have a black and white spine. It's very unusual. You can see because some of the games that I still have within reach are on the shelf next to me. Hey Juliana, welcome to the stream. Thank you for hitting that like so much. How are you doing, Juliana? It's good to see you. Some of the games I have next to me right here, you can see they kind of look a bit plain on the shelf, not as nice as, let's say, the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4 might look. They look kind of plain, and I used to stream with my PlayStation 2 games behind me, and I believe someone commented previously that they look a bit like barcodes, they look a bit like produce or something like that. They thought I was in a warehouse, streaming from a warehouse, which was pretty funny. But yeah, they have kind of a plain spine. It's a bit annoying, they don't look as nice as they would overseas, but, you know, that's how we got them here. So this is GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Cool first-person shooter, I believe. I'm pretty sure most of these are first-person shooters. I think some of the series went into third-person. And there is Everything or Nothing. Still got the sticker on there with 9 out of 10. Gaz loves games. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Love the back of this case, actually. That looks really cool. And I like how they added a lot of story to these Bond games, which was pretty cool. But I am going to skim past a bunch of the games we're going to be showing, because I have a lot of games to show you guys today. And how are you doing, Gaz? It's good to see you, my friend. Next up we have, and this is also before we hit the actual alphabet, we have .hack Infection. Now this is part 1 of a series of games. Rockin' Gaz, I'm glad to hear that, my friend. This is part of a series of games that are RPGs inside of RPG. It's crazy. Inside of the game, you are playing a character who is playing a massively multiplayer online RPG, which is pretty cool. I've got this in a box protector from Mind Game Vault. I got a lot of these box protectors, not so much for my PlayStation 2 collection, but definitely for my cartridge games. They're very helpful. Gaz is great. Yes, mate, that's good to hear, my friend. This is a great game. This is an absolute great game, and a great series of games, actually. I have 1 and 2. I'll show you 2 in a minute. I won't show you the back and the front of every single game I'm going to go through, because I'm going through a lot of games here, but I do want to open this up and show you that inside of here there is also an anime DVD included, which is really cool. I'm very glad about that I have this complete and the next game complete as well. No worries, guys, it's good to have you here, my friend. How many approx have I got? Around about just over 250. The fair few PlayStation 2 games. It is a very good time to collect PlayStation 2 games, and I recommend for anyone starting out, PlayStation 2, starting out in collecting, PlayStation 2 is a really good place to start collecting, because PlayStation 2 is really cheap. The majority of the games, not so much games like the .hack games, but definitely a bunch of great games. We're going to show a bunch of classics through this stream. Many of them are stupendously cheap and really easy to find as well as PlayStation 2 consoles in the background there. Because I rearranged my shelves a little bit, I didn't want to show any blank space. So I have a couple of PlayStation 2 consoles up there just to fill in the blanks. And that silver one I think I got for like less than 20. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it was really cheap. And the other PlayStation, you can see there, I got in a job lot for I'm sure around about 20 or maybe even less than that. It was stupendously cheap. My original PlayStation 2 died long ago. This is the next .hack game, .hack Mutation. Again, I'm going to open this up. I put these in these box protectors. I would like to get box protectors for all of my games, but when you have a pretty big game collection, my game collection is around about 1,500-ish strong. So getting a box protector, if they're, you know, around about £1 each or so, it gets a bit tough going up that far. But definitely these are great games that I will like to put in box protectors. It's got the sticker on there as well to let you know it's got a DVD inside. Really, really cool games. Awesome to get my hands on these. I had the opportunity to get part 3 of this actually, but it was really expensive. And again, this has the part 2 DVD included as well as the game. So that's really good to have that complete. I thought I'd open that up to show you guys that it was complete, and then I'll put it away in these protectors. Again, would really love to have protectors on everything, because it's a great way to protect your collection. Also prevents them from getting scuffed or damaged if you're transporting them, or just stacking them maniacally as I have done here, so I can show you everyone. Next up, another good one. 1945 1 and 2, the arcade game. I love 1945. Such a great game. Great to have this in the collection. This is a good compilation as well. I believe these were also ported to the PlayStation 1. At least 1945 1 was, or, you know, some number of them. But it's good to have both of them together in this collection on the PlayStation 2. I like the Play It logo there, because you should play it. You should definitely play it. This is a good game. Great shooter. I love shooters. Glad to have that. I think I picked this up in a market actually for really cheap, if I remember correctly. Next up, we have Age of Empires 2, The Age of Kings. CM Chris, how are you doing? 40 years before you were born. Nice. How are you doing, CM Chris? Good to see you, my friend. So many games. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's the good thing about being a technically functional adult. You can go out and get all of the games you had your eye on as when you were younger. But certainly I have many more games these days than I did, you know, back in the day. But like I said, PlayStation 2 games. PlayStation 2 games are really cheap. Most of these that I added to my collection in the future, I would have paid maybe, you know, a couple of pounds for at best. They're really cheap. It's a good time to collect PlayStation 2 games. This is a game I played on the PC originally. I got a PlayStation 2 port because, again, found it really cheap. So that's why I picked that up. You're good? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. It's always fun to hang out with my friends on stream, and it's going to be a lot of fun to show you guys all of my collection. It certainly isn't going to be a nightmare like Alone in the Dark, the new nightmare. Alone in the Dark, I originally played on the Panasonic 3DO, was the original version, and then that was also on the PC as well, I think. And you know, you got a bunch of Alone in the Dark games. Do not play Alone in the Dark on the Xbox 360. It is really bad, unless you love putting out fires and climbing electrical cables. You got this game on Dreamcast. It's a cool game. Like, this one is scary. I wouldn't say the 360 one is very scary. I keep coming back to that because it was really bad. But yeah, there's a lot of Alone in the Dark games. I'm kind of like lost in them. It's a side quest I need to get into and I need to complete. Let me check quickly. Yeah, the manual and the disc is in there. I won't open all of them up because I've got a lot of games to show you guys. But another thing I want to mention here actually is this has a black case. The early PlayStation 2 games over here had black cases, and then the later ones had blue cases. At least that's the way around, I think it is. You see what I did there? The game is on Dreamcast. Yeah, the Dreamcast is also a very good way to play a lot of games, although Dreamcast games are certainly more expensive, most of them, than PlayStation 2 games, but the Dreamcast has VGA output. The best PlayStation 2 can do is component. Most of the time, when I'm recording and stuff, I use the pound HDMI cable for the PS2, which I use on my pickup videos, and so I hope we're back. Alright, so this next game, assuming that we are back and running, my goodness, thanks OBS. PS2 also had silver case as platinum, if you remember correctly. It did indeed. Alright, I'm gonna refresh to make sure I'm still up. It's okay now. Okay, mine hadn't come up yet, so I was just making sure. It's okay now. Okay, mine still says it's offline. How dare you? Hey Ali, welcome to the stream, my friend. Thanks for hitting that like button. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. Hey, no worries, Gaz. Good to have you here, my friend. Good to have you here, buddy. Can someone type in the chat if I am definitely live? Let me go to the live streaming page and make sure. Alright. There you go. Well, it's not showing me as live. That's really weird. That is really weird. Alright. What, you know what I might do? I might just go to the live page myself and see if it's still showing me as up. Alright, well, I'm offline. I'm live? That's weird. It's showing me as offline. That's so crazy. Shows all of the PS2 games. Well, I'll keep it going. Mine seems to think I'm offline, which is weird, but you know the chat's still going, so I guess it's fine. What a weird thing to happen. Okay. So yeah, the next game, I'll bring it back to the page so I can see the chat. But that is really weird that it's still showing me that I'm offline. It's crazy. The next game is Ark Twilight of the Spirits. This is a cool RPG. You hate Platinum? But yeah, Platinum is the silver cases. They are really weird. Hey, now I can see that I'm back online. That was weird. Okay, sorry about the confusion, guys. What a magnificent thing to happen. What a magnificent thing to happen, you know, just about a couple of minutes in. We're just over 10 minutes in. And I don't know if I'm online still. You couldn't make it up, could you? Well, yeah. Our next game is Ark Twilight of the Spirits. This is a cool RPG. I'm glad to have this one. I believe Nerdy Nikki says this is one of her favorite RPGs. It's certainly a very good one. I think it's got tactical combat. I haven't played it for a while. I've got so many RPGs. They take a lot of time commitment to get through. And this one as well is complete with the disc and the manual. There we go. And yeah, guys, I absolutely hate Platinum. You'll see very few Platinum games in my collection because I hate that silver case. I absolutely hate it. Maybe a red case. I do have a red case and a white case in the collection, but we'll get to that when we do. Next up, we have Atlantis Free: The New World. This is a point-and-click game. There's not really much to say about this game, other than it's a point-and-click game. I do like point-and-click games. Sometimes they can be, you know, maybe a bit tedious. It's better played on the PC than it is on the PlayStation 2, but this is a fine game, part of a series. A white one, you can't remember that one. Well, you'll see it soon, my friends, because we are live once again without any technical difficulties. Hey, Ash, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Next up, we're on to the B, so let's be good. And it is Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Another game series I absolutely love. Most of these games I have played on the PC. These are different ones. These are hack and slash. Really actually do love these games. There's a bunch of Baldur's Gate games. This one should be complete because I love this one. I'm pretty sure I upgraded my original copy to get a complete one. Absolutely love these. Your brother loved them so much. They're really good games. They're good to sink some time into. This is definitely a game I'm going to consider streaming down the line because it's a lot of fun. Alright, next up we have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Of course we do, with a drow on the cover there. Another great game. They followed up where the last one left off and just kept it going strong with new characters and all sorts of good stuff like that. You got here just in time for the A's. Hey, Ash, it's good to see you, my friend. We have plenty more to go, and this is also complete with the manual and the disc. And you know, most of these cases will have a space for the memory card as well, which is kind of interesting if you want to put your memory card in there. Alright, and next up we have a class in Dungeons & Dragons, and it is Barbarian. Yeah! This game looks pretty interesting, but it is definitely a budget title. There's no getting around it. It's a similar type of gameplay, hack and slash. It's not bad, yeah, but it's not amazing at the same time. That's what I say about that. But it's pretty cool to have it. It's another game that I picked up for, you know, next to nothing. Next up, we go above and beyond with Beyond Good and Evil. This is a great game. Use of the camera is rampant in this game. Wonder if anyone put a memory card in that slot. I definitely don't, because I feel like you would lose your memory card if it was in a random game. I definitely think I would. This has the you know, disc and manual in. I think this is one of the games that was damaged in my water damage. I have water damage to my roof, and a bunch of my PlayStation and PC games got damaged. But thankfully I was able to replace this, so this is a replacement and it's nice and complete. You'll see a couple of disc-only games in the collection that I'll be showing throughout this video, and but I have been able to replace most of the games I lost. Alright, next up, oh, it's a platinum. The platinum. Avert your eyes, everybody. It's black. This is actually not a bad game. It's a first-person shooter. This case, though, let me give you a look at the platinum. It's just horrific. You know, I don't actually mind the spine being black. I quite like that. But the text being silver, not a big fan of how these cases look. There's a good look at what these cases look like. Boo, but water damage. I know, right? Boo, water damage. I lost a lot of games. You'll see some of them through this video. Some of them I haven't been able to recover, mostly on the PC. There's an Icewind Dale bonus pack that you got when you pre-ordered Icewind Dale 2. And I never have found another copy of that. I think it mostly came out in America. I got it from PC World when I bought my copy. Haven't been able to replace it. It still bugs me. Everything else I can feasibly replace, but that one I can't get my hands on it. It's not like I'm looking for Little Samson or something, is it? I'm just looking for a bonus pack that came as a pre-order for Icewind Dale 2. You'll have some of those purple discs. Yeah, they have, well, this disc is actually quite interesting. The platinum disc, there are variations of what the platinum disc looks like, but for the most part they're silver, which is also disgusting, because you don't get the disc art on them. It's terrible. And the back of the discs will either be, they will either be purple, or they will be silver like that, like a regular disc, but they are DVDs. So that is a note. Hey Dork, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing? Hi. Next up, we have Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. There we go. It's an RPG. I have tons of RPGs. I love role-playing games. Absolutely love them. They're probably one of the more expensive things to find when you're looking for games on a system. This is a good game. You know, there are great games in this series as well. And there you have the manual, and the disc is complete. Super Demon, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my friend? You don't see anything wrong with the platinum. It just doesn't look very nice. I like a uniform look, and it just, the platinum. If I can help it, it's not as bad as the PlayStation 1. Like, I'm much more inclined to get a game, if not in platinum, if it's on the PlayStation 1. I may in the PlayStation 2. How's it going? I'm doing well, my friend. Thanks for asking. It's good to see you. Got a lot of good games to go through today, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Next up is another game that I really like, actually, and it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds. I also have this on the original Xbox. I think I played it more on the original Xbox because it looks a little bit better, but the controls on the PlayStation 2 were always better, so it controls better on the PlayStation 2. And this is actually a pretty good game. It's a third-person action adventure. You can go stake a bunch of vampires. Based on a TV show, you know, often games based on films and TV shows are not that great, but this one's not that bad. So I recommend it. If you haven't played Chaos Bleeds, I would give it a go, especially if you're a fan of the television show. I would pick it up. Damn! That's like Farouk, right? From WWE. Damn! Right? Another platinum, Burnout 2. Point of Impact, a pretty good racing game. Burnout series are great racing games. It's in a platinum case. And you know, you got the silver disc as well. And yep, I'll put that away. I think the earlier discs had the purple back. So when I find one of the discs in a black case, it'll probably have a purple back, so I can show you that. Depends on when you got the games. I think mostly. Since they released it with blue, black, and then platinum, it was crazy. Like the way the design changed quite a lot as well over time. I do have a couple of variants in the collection, but normally I will only have a variant if it's a significant variant. Got Burnout Paradise. I've seen a couple. I think I saw Burnout Paradise in a charity shop recently, but it was missing the disc. I opened it up because there was a PSP game there as well, and that was also missing the UMD. Sonic Heroes. I think I have Sonic Heroes around here, actually. That or I saw it in a charity shop recently. Our next game is Canis Carmen Edit. Now, answers on a postcard in the chat if you actually know what this game is, because it's in a different name over here than it is possibly in your region. If I turn it around, it'll be very obvious, so I'll just show you the manual. No, the manual and the disc makes it really obvious, so Bully, there you go, CM Chris, it is Bully, it is indeed Bully. That's what it was called over here for no particular reason. I believe that means dog eat dog in Latin. So there you go, there's the manual, there's the map in there as well, my friends. And there's the disc. They also renamed this to Bully when they did the different edition on the 360, which I also have. It's a good game. It's like Grand Theft Auto but set in a school. It's a pretty sweet game. You got that game? It is a great game. I do recommend it. I would recommend getting the upgraded version though, because it does look a lot better. Plus it's widescreen. Bully on the PS2. This is a really good collection of games. It is the Capcom Classics Collection. This also has 1942 in it. It also has 1943 and 1943 Kai. It's got so many games in it. I'll show you the back. This has a bunch of amazing games on it. There are a lot of good collection discs on the PlayStation 2, as well as the Wii and systems like that. Definitely recommend picking these up. They go pretty cheap and they're great value. Do I have San Andreas? Ooh, easy for you to say. I do, and it'll be later in the video, because I do this. I have my games in alphabetical order, because otherwise I wouldn't find anything. So we'll definitely get to it. But also in the description there will be a link to my Darkadia, which has my full game list as well. And this is complete with the disc and manual, which is really cool. So I very much recommend picking these up. I mean, it's got Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, Gunsmoke as well. You know, arcade versions and console versions. It's a really good collection, so I definitely recommend picking this up. Capcom Classics Collection, easy for you to say. Do I have demo discs too? I still do have a lot of demo discs. They won't feature in this video, and I do tend to pick up demo discs when I can, but I don't keep them with my game collection. I keep them outside with my DVDs and stuff like that. Back in the day, the majority of my game collection was demo discs, because demo discs were cheaper than games. So a lot of games that I really enjoy right now, I mostly had as demo discs back in the day. You know, demo discs are really easy to obtain. Sony often drop the prices. Yeah, Platinum games were like $19.99 or something, like £20 or under. So they've dropped the price, which is pretty good. A way to clear their inventory for retailers. That's pretty interesting. Next up, we have Castlevania. Castlevania. Yeah. This is a really good game. This has an alternate title overseas. I can't remember because there's a bunch of Castlevania games on the PlayStation 2. But this is a really good game. It's like a hack and slash. It is very similar to Devil May Cry. Very similar to Devil May Cry. And it's a really good game. Like playing Castlevania. It's actually a pretty good game. So I do enjoy that one. Alright. Next up we have kind of an odd one. Carmen Sandiego and the Secret of the Stolen Drums. So Carmen Sandiego is like a I want to say like a children's character or comic character. I honestly don't know. Hey, let them come in it. How you doing, my friend? Oi oi. Welcome. Hey, welcome. How you doing, my friend? Metal Gear Solid joke. Oh my goodness. There should be Metal Gear Solid later in the video as well. Honestly don't know much about this series. This game isn't terrible, but I picked it up for very, very cheap. Hey, welcome Trevor. How you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Good to see you, Trevor. Next up, we have Chaos Legion. Another cool hack and slash game. This game is really interesting. It looks really cool. Chaos Legion. It's a nice looking game. The art style is very nice. There's so many games I need to get around to. I have too many games. Disc and manual. I can't remember the back of this disc will be blue or not. Let's have a look. It's got an old case. No, it's got a silver back of this. I'll find one that's blue. I'll find one that's blue if I can remember. I'm pretty sure, you know, the Final Fantasy X will be blue. We'll see. All right. Next up, we have another D&D game, actually, similar to the Baldur's Gate. It is Champions of Norath. This is a really cool game. I only found out about this a while ago. It's basically the same game engine as Baldur's Gate, and just going at it again. More of that good stuff. Chaos Legion is old. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games are fairly old. Hey, Victory Leo! Do I have Rule of Rose? I do not have Rule of Rose, my friend. I would love to have Rule of Rose, so I am very jealous. There we go. There's the back of that. So you can see from the footage on the back, it is very similar. I actually do want to live stream Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, so maybe I'm going to get onto these games as well. And this is complete with the disc and manual. Again, it's pretty cheap, so you can get it. You think you still have Chaos Legion somewhere? It's a pretty cool game. It's pretty interesting. Unreal Gaming on PS2. I may even have an Unreal game. I definitely have an Unreal Tournament game on the original Xbox. Next up, it is Champions Return to Arms, sequel to Champions of Narath. Another cool Dungeons and Dragons style game. I'm going through these fairly quickly, my friends, because there's a lot of games to go through. But this is a really cool game. I don't believe I have the manual for this, unfortunately. No manual, wah wah, but still really good to have. D&D. And if you like D&D, my friends, there's going to be another D&D video on this channel coming up very soon. Should be on Thursday. There should be a D&D premiere. They should be, assuming I can get everyone together. And Soul Reaver, Legacy of Khan, yeah, there will be some Soul Reaver games as well. Love those games. Alright, next up we have a horror game. It is Clock Tower 3. This is a really cool horror game. I believe you're mostly defenseless in this game. It actually brings me to a bunch of survival horror games we have, including games like Haunting Ground, that are really cool, where you sort of can't defend yourself so much. And unfortunately, no manual for this one. Wah wah. A good horror game, I know, right? Very cool game, glad to have it. I would love to have more games in this series, but they're super hard to find, especially, you know, Clock Tower. Alright, next up we have Code of the Samurai. This is a kind of interesting game. It's like a hack and slash, but it's got more emphasis on like defense and attack. Resident Evil PS2. I have a bunch of Resident Evil games on the PS2 actually. We'll get to them. I'm getting close to all of the Resident Evil games. Canis Carnum and Colin McCree Rally 4 are your Onis. Huh. This is an interesting game. That is complete. I actually really like the disc art and the manual in there. They look really nice. I think I picked this up from Goldmine, but I remember my friend and I played this a long time ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. Coming back to it, not as good as I remember, it's still a pretty cool game. I have Dragon Ball games? I do have Dragon Ball games actually. However, there were some of the games that did suffer from water damage, so we will get to them, but some of them will be disc only. Commandos 2! I actually have a lot of this game series on the PC. They play a lot better on the PC, my friends, than they do on the PlayStation 2. It's top-down, kind of point-and-click games. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. I don't like them as much as I like Command and Conquer games, because you know, you only have a small squad of guys, and if they die, you're in a lot of trouble. But other than that, it's a fine game. Conflict Vietnam is another one you just found. Nice. There are lots of good shooters on the PlayStation 2. Alright, next up we have a Conflict game actually, funnily enough. Conflict Global Storm. This is a shooter. I like the case here actually, it's very reflective. Nice and shiny. Shiny case. It's so shiny. With netplay, which of course won't be there anymore. I definitely have Budokai 1, 2, and 3. We'll get to them when we get to it. Next up we have Crazy Taxi. Love this game series. I think I must have played it originally on the Dreamcast, but certainly good copy on the PlayStation 2. I was actually without a copy of this for a very long time because it was a victim of the water damage. My original copy was Platinum, so I'm glad to upgrade to this version because it looks a lot nicer. Shiny as hell, I know, right? And the manual and the case look pretty nice. No surprise about Crazy Taxi, I know, right? It is a must-have, I would say. Alright, next up. We are in a bit of a crisis, and it is Crisis Zone for the PlayStation 2. This is a light gun game. I absolutely love light gun games. This is an amazing game. I love any light gun games. I'm just, you know, I'm I'm gonna be so so over the moon with them. I can't even talk. I love light gun games. Whatever they are, I probably love them, except maybe Ghostbusters on the PS1. That one's not good. Other than that, this game is pretty good. It's the same as Time Crisis, essentially. It's a pretty sweet game. I like the manual there. It's really weird looking. You're going through your PS2 games. Got about 25 or so. That's good. Time Crisis, which isn't Time Crisis. Essentially, yeah. I have actually a couple of Time Crisis games that aren't Time Crisis, so you get to see them as well. Alright, next up we have Crimson Tears. This is a role-playing game. It's a fairly interesting one because it's got kind of a weird combat mechanic. It's an interesting game. It's pretty cool. And I have this one complete. Where's God of War? We'll get to God of War, Trevor. Don't worry, guys. It's coming to you in alphabetical order, so we'll get there. We'll get there. You'll see if the games you want to see are there when we get there. Have no fear. Have no fear. Next up we have Dark Cloud. This is a role-playing game, kind of crossed with a farm sim. Cool game. I enjoy this. I also have the sequel, which we'll get to as well. This is a sweet game. And someone mentioned to me that the guy on the front of this kind of looks like Link from The Legend of Zelda. Kind of does, right? That looks a bit like Link. And then next up, yep, inside of there we have the manual and the disc. Your brother loved Dark Cloud? Nice, it's a good game. I also have Dark Chronicle here as well. And I will open this up to show you guys it is complete. I believe this was known as Dark Cloud 2 overseas, I want to say. But who knows, I can barely talk today. At least the stream is staying online for right now. So this is a cool game. I think there's a lot more combat in this one, but I could be wrong. I just remember this one starts off with some battle. Couldn't remember the sequel name. No manual though. Wah wah. I actually kind of forgot that myself, so it's a good thing I checked. Maybe I want to upgrade that and get the manual that I'm missing. Alright, let's put that in there. Remember the sequel name? Yeah, I want to say it's called Dark Cloud 2 overseas. But I think it's only called Dark Chronicle over here in Europe. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I've said a lot of nonsense thus far. Next up, it has to be Dead or Alive 2. Yeah, it does. Fighting game. You guys all know Dead or Alive. I don't need to tell you about the Dead or Alive games. They are renowned for exactly what you're seeing on the back there. So, and inside of here, I also have the disc there and the manual. It's good to have. I also have these on the original Xbox, I think. Boob juggle. I know, right? Devil May Cry is the only game you have in the D section. Nice. I got a fair few Ds. We'll get to that. And you know what? I remember at April Fools, there was a Dead or Alive volleyball game coming out, and PlayAsia teased a hand care kit, which was Dead or Alive beach volleyball and some hand sanitizer and a box of tissues. I thought that was the funniest thing. Next up, this one's really deadly. This is Deadly Strike. It was released as Dark Cloud 2 in North America. So I was right, nice. Because I wasn't exactly sure about that, I just thought it was. Another cool hack and slash game. This is kind of, I would say this is a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know about this game. It's pretty cool. One of the games I had from way back, and I played the hell out of when I had a lot fewer games. Good game, so I would recommend it. Next up we have Demon Summoner. These are interesting games. I believe this one is a first person. I was actually getting it confused with Summoner then, so now that I remember, this is a first person horror game. You know, first person shooter. Kind of interesting. I wouldn't say this is really a hidden gem. It's not that remarkable, but you know, I'm glad to have it. At some point, maybe I'll give it more of a chance because I have a lot of games. I need to get back to it. So that's Demon Summoner. Dead or Alive, you'll come with me. That is Terminator, right? Demolition Girl is our next game. Some may describe this as a hidden gem. I would not. This is an interesting game. It's a European exclusive if you care. I mean, at least this version is. This is a simple 2000 game from Japan that got a European release. It's definitely an interesting game. You are dealing with a giant lady, a giant Japanese idol who's been transformed. Demo girl, I know, right? This is complete with the manual and the disc. It's not that hard to find. It's not a hard to find game. It's also not great. So I mean, this is featured on one of my video game pickup videos. You can go and find the exact one. Trev peeked up. Yeah, I know, right? You can go find the exact one. There's gameplay footage of this. At the start of the game, you're like scanning the giant lady. You're like scanning her hips and her other parts before you can deal with her. Yeah, it's a Japanese game. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It's a Japanese game. Next up, we have Destroy All Humans. One Giant Step on Mankind. These are absolutely classic games. Love to have them. I also have, I can't remember if I have these on the original Xbox actually. I'm going to be doing an original Xbox collection video at some point down the line as well, where hopefully I don't have any issues with OBS like I did with this time. And this is complete with the disc and manual. Hey Kev, how are you doing, my friend? Thanks for hitting that thumbs up, buddy. It's good to see you. My amazing PS2 collection. Certainly I am humbled by, you know, as with anyone with a collection addiction, I want them all, so I won't rest until that's been done. Yes, you did. Ha! Nice. Destroy Humans is getting a remake. It is getting a remake. They did a trailer recently, actually. Linda, aka the Gamer Girl. Hello, how are you doing, Linda? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Of course, after Destroy All Humans, I certainly have to talk about Destroy All Humans 2 as well. Make War, Not Love is the tagline for this one, naturally. Pretty cool game. I was playing a Destroy All Humans game on the Wii recently. Big Willy's Unleashed. They love their titles for these. This one is also complete with the manual and the disc. So it's good to have that. These are in very good condition as well. Some of my games are in very conditions, but this one's actually in pretty good shape. Next up, I'm not exactly sure how you say this. I've never been sure how you say it. I'm going to say Deuce X. Is it Deuce X or is it Deus X? Someone answers on a postcard or in the comments. You know, 9 out of 10 from PlayStation 2, 9 out of 10 from PSW. First person shooter. Many of you guys will know this game. It's an absolute classic. Honestly guys, I don't care for it that much. I gotta be honest, I don't care for it that much. Sorry, but you know, it relies a bit too heavily on stealth at the start, and I don't like stealth. If you ask anyone what I don't like in a video game, it's stealth. I can't handle stealth. So yeah, it kind of grates on me a bit. Never played Deus Ex. I'm still not sure how to say it. Next up we have, it was aforementioned, and it is Devil May Cry. I have streamed this as well on the channel. It was a lot of fun, although it was a lot harder than I remember it being. Certainly was a lot harder than I remember it being. So I went back and played it on easy. Great game, absolute great game. DMC hype. I believe this game has a HD remaster, right, on the PS3 and Xbox 360, maybe on the PS4 as well. Great game, absolutely great. Have it complete with the manual. I'm gonna check. You know, I do remember there being purple discs, so I'm checking. That one is not a purple disc, but I do remember that being a thing. Just came to the Switch. Nice. Would be a good game to pick up and play for the Switch. Of course, after Devil May Cry, you have to have Devil May Cry 2. And this one, is this the one where they had outfits from, I want to say Bench? They had like alternate Bench outfits, or was that the third one? We'll see. But yeah, cool game. Another game that I really like. I went back to play it recently because, yeah, this is the one, because I remember from looking at the characters, they had alternate outfits from like a company that sold jeans. So they had alternate outfits. Got two discs in there. But guess I don't like Hitman. I like some of the Hitman games actually. I like the ones. Boo, DMC wasn't that. 2 wasn't that great. 1 and 3 was better. That's fair. I like some of the Hitman games. I like the Hitman games because you don't always have to stealth. You can just go out there and blow things up, and that's what I like doing. And I don't hate all stealth games, but I hate a lot of stealth games, to be fair. Next up is Devil May Cry 3. Alright, so around about here on Dante's Awakening is sort of where I dropped off the series, admittedly. I don't know much about Devil May Cry after Devil May Cry 3. To be fair, my friends, it's the same with Final Fantasy. After the PS2 Final Fantasy, I sort of dropped off the radar and don't know much about the game series. Hold up my hands and admit that. Alright, after that, we're not done with Devil May Cry yet, because there's one more Devil May Cry game I have on the PlayStation 2, and that's of course the Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Yeah! Alright, this is Dante's Awakening Special Edition. I believe it has an additional character that you can play as, and that's what makes it so special. So it's pretty cool to have that. I think that might be the only difference on this version, I'm not sure. But this is also complete with the disc and the manual. And this is an example of a variation that I will have in my collection, because this is a different edition completely. There you go. Alright, next up we have It's a Good Day, Die Hard Vendetta. This is a first-person shooter. It's not that bad, actually. It's not so bad. It's an interesting game. It's definitely not as good as the Die Hard games on the PlayStation 1. Die Hard Trilogy and Die Hard Trilogy 2 are much better games. But this isn't that bad. Complete with a disc and manual as well. Alright. Trevor says Trevor is better than DMC2. You're great, Trevor. You're great. Thanks for being here, my friend. You haven't played DMC5 yet, CM Chris? I haven't either. I can't remember where I dropped off. Die Hard Vendetta was not bad. I don't think it's bad. It's just not as good as the Die Hard Trilogy games on the PS1. And the reason it's not is because the Die Hard Trilogy games on the PS1 have light gun games, and as I mentioned previously, I love light gun games, so they're always going to hold a higher place for myself. Next up, we have Dino Stalker. It's a light gun game, my friends, although this one you can also move around. So, Dino Stalker, you may or may not know, is actually part of the Dino Crisis series. Not only is it part of the Dino Crisis series, it is also part of the Gun Survivor series, which is a series of light gun games based in the Resident Evil world. So this game is doubly cool. And I actually really like the disc art here as well. The disc art looks really awesome. Alright. I'm a great guy. Oh, flattery will get you everywhere, Trevor. Next up, we have Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. Now, if this wasn't called Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII, it was called, I would prefer it to be called Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus, then it could be somewhere else in my list. But, you know, admittedly, I haven't actually played this one yet. I've got too many games I need to get around to it. Let me know, guys, is this good? It definitely has, the character's name is Vincent, right? I haven't played Final Fantasy VII in a long time. I want to get back to it for stream, actually. So I also haven't played Crisis Core on the PSP, but admittedly my PSP doesn't work right now. But my PSP, actually if I grab it, is around here somewhere. If it wants to be found. My PSP is a Final Fantasy VII model. Let me put that down there. Play the game as well, it wasn't bad. I'll have to get around to it actually. Is it a hack and slash? Actually, what am I saying? All of their games are hack and slash these days. My PSP is a Final Fantasy VII one. So there you go. I love Final Fantasy VII. I just haven't gotten around to the extended. I've seen the movie Advent Children, but other than that, I haven't done much else Final Fantasy VII past the first game. All right, next up, we have Disgaea, Hour of Darkness. This is a tactical RPG. And this is a really cool one, actually. This game universe is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. There's so so many games in this series. I had the opportunity to pick up Disgaea 2 recently with the soundtrack at the Comic-Con and Gaming Fest in Truro, but I didn't grab it. Kind of regret that, but I do like this game series. They're really cool, and I want to grab more of these. It's out on Switch as well. It's a decent RPG series. I know, right? I want to get more of them. I've been getting into the series as well, and I really love an offshoot from the series, Prinny, out on the PSP, which is a really cool platformer. Alright, next up, we have DNA, Dark Native Apostle. I don't know how to describe this game really. It's kind of like a a shooter, I guess. It's a third person game. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting game. It's an interesting art style. It's definitely a cool game, but it's definitely out there. It's off the norm. But this is the sort of thing you would see in hidden gem videos because it is really good. It's interesting. It's a cool game. So there you go. DNA. Next up, we have the Dragon Ball Z games. We finally made it to them. And first up, we have a loose disc because unfortunately I no longer have the case for this. And it is Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Yep, no longer have the case for this game. It was damaged by water damage, which is very unfortunate, but I'm still glad to have a copy. When I can get myself a case for it, then I will have it complete once again. I used to really like these fighting games. I don't play a ton of fighting games, but I did really like these ones because they were Dragon Ball Z, so I am a big fan of those. So you'll see a couple of those right now. Next up we have one that I still have in the case. One of Hidden Gems for sure. Yeah, you haven't heard of it. Yeah, it's very out there. You know, I may have found out about it myself from a Hidden Gems video. I can't remember. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, which I still have in the case. So this one was untouched by the devastation of the water damage. It's still good to have that. And I still have the disc and the manual in there as well. All right. Next up. Unfortunately, yet again, another one. Well, you know what? Before I show you the disc only, I'll show you the one that's still complete. So I have Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 here, still complete, still intact, which is unfortunate, and it is unfortunate because what did not make it out alive from the water damage when my roof took water damage was the game that I had next to this, which was the Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 Special Edition, the Collector's Edition. Unfortunately, the case, which is a very nice case, I believe it was one of those cases that you know, was cardboard or whatever, so it opened up nicely. Yeah, it didn't make it. Sucks. Or maybe it was a sleeve and then a regular case. I can't remember, but it sucks. So I only have the disc left. I would like to get the case for this so I can have it complete again, but honestly, there are other games that got destroyed or damaged from the water damage that are kind of higher on my priority, and one of those you will get to down the line, but it is a shame. Yeah. It's all the worse when cardboard gets hit by water. Yeah, those were the games that were most affected, but a couple of other cases were as well, because the inserts of the sleeves themselves are paper, so a lot of those got screwed up. It's very unfortunate. Really, I think if I'd acted a bit quicker, I would have been fine. But, you know, it got me. It got me. Next up, still on the Ds. So many Ds. We have Dragon Quest: The Journey of the Cursed King. This is an awesome role-playing game. I really do like this one. Definitely I need to sink some more time into it. It's really cool. And this is a game that has widescreen as well. It has widescreen support, so it looks amazing. There you can see I've got the manual and the disc. I actually I like this game so much that I did upgrade my copy. My previous copy had some damage to the spine where there was I think someone wrote on pen on it or something, and I upgraded it. You forgot Dragon Quest came out this long ago? Yeah, I know, right? I'm reaching across on two sides there, I'm trying to put it away. I'm trying to put them away in some sort of order so that when I put them back on the shelf it won't be so bad. But I tried to do that and grab from the shelf at the same time. And next up we have Dragon Rage. This is a well, I don't know how to describe it. I guess a flight combat game. You're on the back of a dragon. It's kind of forgettable. It's definitely not in the territory of Hidden Gems. I got this one really cheap, and how you know this game is not so good is 3DO. I don't want to lump 3DO in there with LJN or anything like that, but honestly, if you see 3DO, you're probably getting a bad game. Except with the Might and Magic series, you know, I'll give them their you love RPGs, but older ones, I know, right? Nowadays RPGs are all hack and slash, but actually brings me to this game, which is a hack and slash RPG. Drakan the Ancient's Gate. This is a pretty cool one. I believe it's from Sony, if I remember correctly. Interesting one. On this one, you can go on the back of a dragon as well, but this game is much better. And you can also go on the ground and fight goblins and orcs and whatnot as well. Pretty cool game, actually. And there's a note on the front here saying, important, a memory card of 8 megabytes is required to play this game, all the levels of this game. So if you don't have a memory card, you can't actually proceed in this game because it has to save. I don't have the manual in here, unfortunately, but it might be something I want to pick up. I need to grab a lot of manuals. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to find a place that's just selling like a bunch of manuals for cheap, and I'll be able to pick them up. Alright, next up is an awesome hack and slash. It is Drakengard, or is it Drakengard? I don't know. Answers on a postcard or in the chat. It's a cool hack and slash game. Very, very Dynasty Warriors style. It is a sweet game. Very enjoyable. I love those kind of games that you can just go in and button bash, and just hammer it out. They're a lot of fun, complete with the manual. And the disc in there. Drakengard, you have this, 1 and 2. Well, thankfully, I also have Drakengard 2 as well. Drakengard 2 is a little harder to pick up than Drakengard 1. Why does an RPG need so many discs? Well, things like the FMV sequences take up a lot of space on a disc. So if they want to have full motion video or just FMV sequences, they will need to space it out onto different discs to have more content. You get more story the more discs there are, which is an advantage that disc systems had, which cartridge systems did not. All right, and there you go. But it did make a problem. It did make a problem. That certainly for the PlayStation 1, I had the issue that many of my, like, you know, second or third or fourth discs might not work, so I would get to a point where I couldn't complete the game. Certainly for Final Fantasy VIII, I think I have 3 copies of Final Fantasy VIII and not a complete set of working discs between them. Next up we have Dropship United Peace Force. This is an aerial combat game. I don't really have much to say about this. I picked it up for, I think, £1 in a charity shop. I will try it out. I haven't tried it out yet. I think this is going to be on the next or the one after that pickup video, so look out for that. You'll get to see gameplay for this pretty soon. And then next up we have the aforementioned Dynasty Warriors, starting off with the first PlayStation 2 Dynasty Warriors game, Dynasty Warriors 2. I absolutely love this game. I think this is one of the first games I got for the PlayStation 2. Absolutely loved it. I love hack and slash games. You can just go in there and just kick the crap out of everything. I like them in the same way that I like light gun shooters or space shooters. You can just spend a little bit of time playing them and they're a lot of fun. And there you go. I wonder if this disc is silver, because I know this disc is... sorry. Yeah, there we go. There's a purple disc. I was about to say this disc is... Except you're getting the screen reflecting on it. This disc is purple. There you go. There's a purple disc. Because I know this game is old, because this would have been one of my oldest games on the PS2. Sam M. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. And Dynasty Warriors 1 was a 1v1 fighting game on the PlayStation 1 that I don't have yet. Dynasty Warriors 3 took everything that happened on Dynasty Warriors 2 and made it even bigger. And this one, I think you can play 2-player. I can't remember if you can play 2-player on Dynasty Warriors 2 or not. But this one you can play 2-player. It also includes like mega guys like Lebu as well. So this is a really cool game as well. And definitely sunk a lot of time into that. And somewhere along the line I dropped off of the Dynasty Warriors series because it got very samey after that. Alright. Next up we have Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends, Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends. So this is the equivalent of DLC from back in the day. And yeah, this would just be an additional content to the original game. Just adds to it. I can't remember if the entire of the first game is on this, or if you needed both. I'm pretty sure you just needed this and it had all the additional content on it. It was just a bigger and better version of the first one. And then next up we have Dynasty Tactics. This is a tactical version of the same game, although when you get into combat you can do hack and slash as well. So I actually quite like these. I think I can't remember the name of it. I want to say it was Kessen. We'll get to it in the Ks, but there was another kind of version of this as well. But there you go, there's some clips of that. I'm pretty sure this is complete with everything. Awesome collection. Hey, thanks. Hand in bag. How you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Oh, nice. We have another another light gun game, and it is Endgame. And there are a couple of variants of this. I actually do have a couple of variants of the cover, but this is my favorite one, so this is one I keep in the collection because it has the character on the back. It is essentially just Time Crisis. It's more Time Crisis, and that's enough for me because I love Time Crisis. So any game that's like Time Crisis, I'm going to pick up. You're good, thanks, Sam M. That's good to hear, my friend. Not long home from work, you're knackered. Never played Endgame. I got a couple of copies of this actually with variant covers because I like this game so much. I made sure that I got the one I liked the best. All right. Have you got Dynasty Warriors Gundam? I have a couple of Dynasty Warriors Gundam games, but I think I have them on the Xbox 360. Next up, we have another really good game. This is a classic. Everyone should have played this back in the day, and it is Enter the Matrix. It goes along directly with the film. Absolutely great game. I love it. I didn't love Path of Neo, but this has film clips in it. You can see there with Neo and one of the agents. It just goes directly into the movie, so it's really cool. Love this game. I also have this on the Xbox original, I think, as well. But yeah, great game. You have all three of the Dynasty Warriors games on the Xbox 360. Nature's Path of Neo is really good. I know, right? I played it for a little bit, but I don't know what it was about it. But I need to give it a chance because my brother tells me that it's really good as well. So I do need to give it some time. Right, next up is Eternal Quest. A little bit of hidden gem, this one actually. Enter the Matrix Bullet Time. Yeah, Bullet Time is really cool. It reminded me a lot. It reminded me a lot of Max Payne. If you guys have played the Max Payne games, certainly reminded me a lot of that. Great game. What am I saying? Gone on autopilot. This is actually not that bad. It is a kind of adventure game. I want to say it's kind of Baldur's Gate style. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Might be hidden gem, might be one of the ones I need to do down the line, but it is a pretty great game. What is not a great game? Okay, so I can't go on autopilot for this one. Going on autopilot, calling everything a great game, but this one is not. Eternal Ring. I picked this up because I thought, hey, I don't know anything about this. Sometimes you don't know anything about PS2 still had some poor games. It did. This is one of them. It's like a first-person fantasy game, and it is not good. That's the only thing I can really say about it. It's just not good. It's pretty bad. You can tell when they haven't put any effort onto the disc art that it's probably not going to be that great a game. Alright. Next up, we have Eve of Extinction. Another very unusual game. It might be one on the hidden gem list. You kind of fight with a lightsaber in this game. It's like a beat 'em up game. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. Eve of Extinction, or EOE, as it calls itself. Yeah, you kind of just beat guys up with a lightsaber. But there's a lot of platforming in this as well. And I think I found the platforming very frustrating in this. So keep that in mind if you look out for this game, that it's not all beat 'em up action. Alright, next up. Talking about beat 'em up action, nicely brings us into Fight Night 2004. I really don't have anything bad to say about this. It's a sports game, so what? It's not bad. The cool stuff about this game, these games really, is that you can control your fists with the thumbsticks. So it's actually a lot of fun just to beat the crap out of your enemy using the thumbsticks. So I actually have a couple of these. I had a couple of FIFA games back in the day as well, but I didn't football games because they were fun for multiplayer, but this was really fun for multiplayer. So I can't say anything bad about it. I honestly can't. Which is why I have Fight Night Round 2 as well. Haha! But there you go. You can also make your own boxer on it as well, which is a lot of fun. The disc art is trash. Yeah, some games have not good disc art. You can make your own boxer, and you can turn off weight classes. So you can make a guy and deliberately make him as skinny and as small as possible, kind of like me, and then make someone absolutely giant, and then smash them with like one punch, send them flying. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And another thing is during the round breaks, you were supposed to kind of heal your fighter by like you know, pressing down on bruises and stuff. But we just found it really fun when we were multiplayer, just to like take the pads and just shove it on his face for the weird expressions he would make. So we didn't heal up our fighters between rounds, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. Next up, Escape from Monkey Island. You may know this game series as a point-and-click adventure series. This is actually a 3D adventure game for the PlayStation 2, so a little unusual in the game series. But a lot of unusual games did make their way onto the PlayStation 2, so that was pretty cool. Alright. Next up, we have Extermination with more reflective artwork. I really like this, actually, on this case. Again, you guys will be seeing the PAL artwork for these cases, whereas overseas you might have different artwork for these. This is a really cool game. It's like a shooter survival horror. It does have a little bit of platforming and a little bit of stealth in it, but you do get to shoot a lot of monsters, so you can't complain about that. Alright, next up we have a really good one here. It is Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. So this is a Fallout game. This is a Fallout game that plays exactly like the Baldur's Gate hack and slash games. It is really, really good. And you can see it on the front here. It says, from the guys that brought you Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. It's really good. I definitely recommend it. It's got role-playing elements to it. And you get to just, you know, hack and slash away. So it's pretty cool. I liked it so much, I put it in a protector. To keep it nice and fresh, especially since it's got the sticker on it as well. I want to keep it as good as I can. A lot of games I'll take the stickers off, and down the line I regret it. Alright, next up we've got another bad one actually. It's Fightbox. This is a, I guess you'll call it kind of a game where you go through obstacle courses as a kind of robot. It's not really very good. It's based on a BBC television show that used 3D graphics, which for the time were pretty good. It was trying to be Robot Wars. If you guys have seen Robot Wars, and it's just not. It's not very good. So I wouldn't recommend this one very much. It might be one of the games you want to play because it's so bad it's good. Fallout game like that, strange but cool. It is strange but cool. Talking about games that are so bad they're good. Next up we have Fighting Angels on the PlayStation 2. And you know, I probably don't need to say much about this game. I can just show you some of the clips on the back of ladies fighting each other in bikinis. They can also use machine guns and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was a thing. This is definitely a thing that happened. It's an interesting game. It's kind of funny, and it's so bad it's good. Now you want Fighting Angels, Linda? Everyone wants Fighting Angels, but what you probably don't want is Fighting Fury. Another game made to the same kind of quality. This one is just not very good. I got a lot of games that were just really cheap and were kind of looked quite unusual, and this game just feels kind of sluggish. It's just a bit awkward. It is a fighting game. I've got a lot of fighting games. This one's not so great. I know fighting games, yeah. Fighting Fury, rather, exactly. Games based on TV shows were hilarious. Yeah, some games based on films or anything like that are pretty bad. Bloody Roar is a better fighting game. You know, I don't actually have Bloody Roar. I need to pick up more fighting games. Simper X, welcome to the stream, my friend. You're just in time for some Final Fantasy. This is Final Fantasy X. This game was a victim of my water damage originally. It's taken me a long time to get this back, and the reason it's taken me a long time to get this back in the condition I want it is because I wanted to get a replacement copy that also had the bonus DVD inside. So I still had the disc and I still had the bonus DVD, but I didn't have the case that accommodated both the DVD or the and the disc. So I wanted to grab that. It took me a long time to get that back. And after that we have Final Fantasy X-2. I think this is almost exactly where I dropped off Final Fantasy games. Hey, random boy, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing, buddy? Final Fantasy X-2. You know, I think the combat was maybe just a bit too real-time in this and not more turn-based. X2, boo! Certainly, I was excited to see the story continue, but I prefer the combat to be quite slow in my Final Fantasy games because, honestly, I like to just relax when I play them and play it quite slow. Nice game collection. Why, thank you, random boy. Thank you for joining the stream, my friend. It's good to see you. Frank Herbert's June is next. June 2 on the Amiga is a strategy game that I really love. Haven't got the chance to play this one yet. It's going to be on a pickup video down the line, but it looks like a more cinematic game. It's kind of interesting. I believe it's PlayStation 2 exclusive, if I'm not wrong. I picked it up fairly recently. Yuna is a very interesting character, CM Chris, that is for sure. Next up, this is a very interesting game actually. It is Freak Out. I don't know if you guys saw me play this on a pickup video recently. I had some gameplay footage of it. And in that gameplay footage, I was stretching the boobs of monsters to kill them. Yeah, I'm not kidding, that's what happened. You're a character with like a kind of ghost arm on the back of your head or something, and you stretch things to destroy them. It's a really unusual game. And the enemies that I encountered when I was recording it just happened to be creatures with giant boobs. You stretch the boobs to kill them. But yeah, it's a weird game, and it's supposed to be a kid's game. So it's a really weird game. I believe she's trying to free her sisters from demons or something. It's weird. Next up, we have Future Tactics. This is a tactical game, as the name would suggest. It's actually not that bad. It almost reminds me of Worms 3D. If you guys have played Worms 3D, it kind of plays in a very similar way to that. It's a pretty cool game. It has a nice art style as well. Quite nice, Future Tactics. One of the ones that maybe not a lot of people know about as well, so potentially another hidden gem. Next up we have G-Surfers. News to me, I didn't even know I had this. Featuring a track editor as well, so I guess it's like a Wipeout wannabe. Feel the G-force and the fastest racer on Earth. Genuinely, guys, I didn't know I had this. I must have just picked it up at a charity shop and just dumped it in the collection. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Alright, next up we have Genji. This is another game in a really nice case. This reflective case is quite nice. This is a hack and slash game. Pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Onimusha, if you guys have played those games. Reminds me of that a lot. A pretty cool game. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at this manual. Look at that manual. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Genji sounds familiar. I know, right? This is a really good game. So I do recommend that. Alright, next up. Another game that I actually recommend. And I would definitely call this a hidden gem. So, you know, I'm actually planning down the line to make PlayStation 1 hidden gem videos and potentially PlayStation 2 hidden gem videos. And this would definitely be a candidate, Ghost Hunter. This is like a shooter survival horror. Essentially, it's like a darker version of Ghostbusters. The story is very similar, where you had a ghost hunter from the past locked away a bunch of ghosts in a kind of tank in the same style as what is at the bottom of the Ghostbusters I was going to say lair, but you know, their facility, and someone just comes in and accidentally releases them, like in the Ghostbuster film, and there's ghosts everywhere, so you have to deal with it. And it's actually a really cool game. I heartily recommend it. And this is also complete with the disco manual. Another game that I like so much that I made sure that I upgraded my copy as well to get a nicer copy. Alright, next up we have Gift. This is a really weird game. It's a kind of cartoony game. It is a platformer. It's one of those games you don't hear much about. It has a very cartoony style of graphics. It's very unusual. Oops, I accidentally released the ghost. I know, right? I actually really like the manual for this game because he's holding a copy of the game on the manual. So it's trying to be that sort of breaking the fourth wall humor. It's quite cool. Alright, next up we have Gladiator Sword of Vengeance. I think this game was alright. I was about to say it sucks, but I'm confusing it with a different game that we're going to get to down the road. It's a hack and slash arena combat style game. It's actually not that bad, but it's nothing to write home about. Gladiator Sword of Vengeance, and then once again complete with the disc and the manual. Alright. Alright, we are not even halfway and we're an hour in, so next up, Global Defense Force. A great series of games. You kind of shooter. This is Sparta! I know, right, Linda? This is a shooter. You shoot and blast aliens to bits. That's what this game is about. This is also complete. Look at the disc art and the manual art there. Nice, I love it. I might skip past showing you guys the disc art and the manual art so we can catch up a little bit for some of these. All right, God of War. So you guys were wondering when we're going to get to it. Yes, I have God of War. You just finished a curry with 4 naan bread? Oh my goodness, Ash, that sounds amazing. You're gonna burst? You could have given me some of that naan bread. Still waiting for the cursed PS2 games. There's some pretty cursed games in the collection. But yeah, you guys know God of War. It is a great game. It's a great series. I'm yet to get the new game. But I do love the older games. As evident with my God of War 2 is the God of War 2 Special Edition. Pretty cool to have this. It also contains a DVD, if I remember correctly, in this fold-out case. I think this is the kind of case that Budokai had, but I could be wrong. I do have another game in the solid case. Comes with a load of goodies, and it opens up really nicely with the extra stuff. Really cool. I love it when you get cases like that. Really, I need a box protector for this to keep it in good condition, or to figure out how to close it. But yeah, that is God of War 2, the Special Edition. And I know, I think Big Boss Incarnate is pretty jealous I got this. Next up, we have Godai, Elemental Force, another kind of interesting platformer. Alright, you know what, I said I'm going to skip past, but I do enjoy actually looking at the... I do enjoy looking at the disc and manual. From 3DO, so stay away. Maybe a cursed game. Next up, okay, we're at the red and white cases now. So the red case, you guys might have known, is Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. And this has a red case to it, which is really cool. Complete with... Oh, I've got a platinum disc in there. Is that a platinum disc, or is that just how the disc looks? No, it's just how the disc looks. That's kind of unusual. That's just how the disc looks. Interesting. I know it's not platinum because it's got colour on it. Alright. And the white disc, that's the same red case you have. Yeah, the white disc is Gran Turismo 4. That's my white case. The real driving simulator. Oh my goodness, what was that? Oh my goodness. So... I haven't opened this in a while, evidently. So, Gran Turismo 4. But also, there is True Crime New York City in here as well, which I actually think I have an empty case and I'm missing the disc for. So there you go. There it is. I don't know how it got here, but it ended up in here. So there's a missing disc from my collection, rediscovered. So there you go. Alright. That is funny. And then this is a blue case, but probably a bit harder to find actually. Mystery solved, I know, right, guys? Next up we have Gran Turismo 4 Prologue with a bonus DVD. I think this one is harder to find. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of like an introduction to Gran Turismo 4. So it's almost like a demo, but they sold it by itself. And there you go. It's got the game in there, and it's got the DVD, the making of. So it's pretty cool. All right, next up, since we're in GT, hey TM Klosky, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing, buddy? It's probably hard to find. I know, right? Well, evidently, many games in my collection are hard to find, including True Crime. So I should have that complete now. Thanks for hitting the like button, TM Klosky. Much appreciated, my friend. You guys rule. Thank you guys for hitting the like, and thank you for being here. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. I've got video game hunting coming up. I've got live streams and all kinds of good stuff. Next up, #1 best-selling Grand Theft Auto 3. Love this game. Absolutely love it, my friends. When they transitioned to 3D, complete with a map as well, I will say this is complete. Scratch and sniff discs. GT2, I do not actually, but that's kind of funny if that's the thing. GTA 3, I know, I love it. And I also have, this is going to be pretty rare, I think, the action replay ultimate cheats of Gran Turismo 3, which only was available with HMV. I think this was like a pre-order bonus, or maybe they sold it themselves. Only available from HMV. HMV doesn't exist anymore, my friends. Pretty cool. Also, I really love the artwork, the kind of cartoony style artwork they put on the front of this. It's pretty cool. I like to have that. Alright, next up we have Grand Theft Auto Double Pack. It's just exactly the same as the others, so I won't open this up, but it's in a box protector, as you can see, to keep it nice and fresh. Hard to find this complete, especially on the original Xbox as well. Hard to find complete, but this includes Vice City and GTA 3. I should have Vice City, so I should be able to show you that as well. That nostalgia, though! Oh, they are still around. Oh, you're right, CM Chris. HMV is still around. Right, you're right, yeah. I just haven't been there in ages. You are right. You know what, they went into administration a while ago, and I just thought they were gone, but they are right, you are correct. This too is supposed to smell like a pit lane with fuel and burnt rubber. That's amazing, Ash. That's actually pretty cool. You have GTA 1 and 2, but not sure if you have 3. I've got 1 and 2 on a collection, collector's edition for the PS1. Alright, next up we have Liberty City Stories for the PS2. Nice to have that. Extra content. Also got the map and all of that stuff in there included as well. Alright, next up we have San Andreas. Yep, cool game as well. I loved all of these games actually, but the one we're going to come to next I love the most because of the music in it. Had really awesome music. And that game is Vice City. Of course, it had 80s music. How could you not love this game? It had such good music. It was so good. It was so good. I love it. Vice City, the music was just amazing. And there you go, a bit of side boob on the poster that comes in there. It's a poster slash map, I think. All right, love the radio stations. I know, right? Sometimes I would just listen to the tracks and not go anywhere. And next up we have Grandia 2, fantastic RPG series, absolutely fantastic. The rock station was the best. Was it called Planet Rock? I want to say it was called Planet Rock. Complete with a disc and manual. I need to get Grandia for the PlayStation 1 as well, actually, guys. Alright, I'm just going to have to start putting these next to me, I guess, because I'm running out of space. Another light gun game, and it is Guncom 2. The cover here doesn't really have anything to do about anything. You'd think it might be like a Silent Hill type game with that cover, but it's an on-rails shooter. Light gun game, love light gun games. I got this really early on actually, and I've always thought the title was to do with the G-Con being the name of the light gun. So it was like G-Con 2, Guncom 2, and that's what they're going for. No idea though. I think this might have had another name overseas as well. But there, this is complete as well. Yep. Alright. After that, we've got another light gun game, and this is one I had been looking for a while, and it is Gunfighter 2, The Legend of Jesse James. This is a really good one. It's a Western gunfighter, my friends. This is really good. I like this game a lot. I love light gun games, so anything like that, and it's combining the Wild West, is absolutely amazing. I just love it. Gunfighter 2, love light gun games. I've still got a CRT TV and a bunch of light gun bunch of light guns, so I can still play them. Alright, next up. We have Gungrave. Yep, that's right. There's not more gravy to a grave about this one. This is a hack and slash game. It's kind of interesting. There you go. It's complete with the disc and manual as well. V-Rock. Ah, there you go. Planet Rock might be a real radio station, actually. Next up, we have Half-Life. Yes, yes, yes. One of the best games ever. And funny enough, guys, the PlayStation 2 version has better graphics than the PC version. This is a very unusual way round for it to be, but this is how it is. So this version also has a cooperative game in it as well. So actually better to have this than the PC version. K Rose? I don't know what K Rose is. Was that the presenter from one of the radio stations? Next up we have Haunting Grounds. Love this game. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was going to be part of the Clock Tower series. I could be mistaken there, but this is an awesome survival horror game. I think it was originally going to be part of the Clock Tower series, but just wasn't. Love this game. I think it was on my top 10 pickups. I did a live top 10 pickups. I'm going to do another top 10 pickups soon, including my next games. Country was K-Rose. Cool. But that is a great game, Haunting Ground. You should check that out, guys. It's a great game. Next up is Hurdy-Gurdy. I just love saying it. Hurdy-Gurdy. This game is called Hurdy-Gurdy. And A New World, A New Hero. This is a very interesting game. It has a cool animated style to it. Very cinematic. And essentially you're herding creatures around. But it's also got a lot of platforming elements as well. So it's a pretty cool game. A very unusual game. If you want a different experience, you should check out Hurdy-Gurdy. Alright, next up we have Haven, Call of the King. This is an adventure game. Pretty cool looking. It's got nice art style. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was meant to branch out into a series of games and just didn't. But there you go. That is Haven, Call of the King. After which we have Headhunter Redemption. It's a shooter game. I actually haven't really gotten into the Headhunter series, but this is complete, so there you go as well. Haven looks familiar as well. I think it plays pretty good actually. Alright, next up, 3DO games that I actually don't mind. The Heroes of Might and Magic series. This is the quest for the dragon, for the Dragon Bone Staff. I was going to say Dragon Rage Staff. Pretty cool. This one I think is hack and slash, whereas, you know, some of the other games are slightly different. But it's a pretty cool game. They're all a pretty good series. Got to have a getaway game. You know what? I do have getaway games. They must just be in the wrong place. There you go. Let me see. Yeah, I do have getaway games. I don't know what's happened to them. I honestly don't know where they are. Oh, you know what? I think I know where they are. I think I haven't put them away yet. Or have I? Huh. Yeah, you know, I just don't know where they are. Let me think. Yeah, I must have messed up the order at some point. I do have getaway games. Definitely. Don't know where they are. But we'll get to them, I'm sure. Hey, Jonan, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream, buddy. It's good to see you. Alright, next up, we have... Now, actually, guys, I am going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy the music and the artwork, some of my artwork, because we still have a ton of games to go through, my friends. So, we've got a lot of fun still to come, and I'm going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. And I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me, true believers. Okay, let's continue. Curse of coffee. It is unfortunately, yes, it was coffee. I had to take a quick break. But I'm back. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Them animations. Yeah, I did the artwork myself. Thank you, guys. And we're back. And you know what, guys? Whilst I was away for just a moment, I did realize why we haven't seen The Getaway yet. It's because the title of it is The Getaway, so it'll be in the tease along with many of those games. So we'll get to it. But here's a hidden gem, I think, and it is a game I actually have a couple of variants of, and it is Hidden Invasion. This is kind of a brawler, a beat 'em up game, but it also has guns in it as well. Seven Sins that EA made. I don't think I actually have that. I don't think I have the Seven Sins. No, unfortunately not. I'll have to grab it. I have two variations of this, two different cover arts of the same game. I like this game that much. I also have a third variant, which is I think it's like a equivalent to the Midas Pocket Price. It's one of these artworks, but the cover is just smaller, so I don't count that. I don't keep it with the rest of them because these ones look nicer. But yeah, I have if it's a significant difference, because the cover art is different on the back as well. So if there's a significant difference, then I will keep more than one copy. And these are both complete. I think the actual disc and manual are exactly the same. So it's weird. It had several re-releases. Oh, having said that, the manual is different. It's pretty interesting. But there you go, Hidden Invasion. Alright, next up, we have start of a good game series. The only one I have on the PlayStation 2, unfortunately, but it is Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. Another game series that reminds me a lot of the Baldur's Gate games. So these are kind of hack and slash, but there's also a lot of shooting in this as well. I very much recommend checking these out. I have more on the original Xbox, and I'm going to do an original Xbox collection video as well, guys, so look forward to that. But yeah, this is another game that I particularly enjoy. Let the hunt begin. It's really cool, and there's a bunch of these games as well, so I'm still looking for a bunch of them. Alright, next up, another great collection of games with Intellivision Lives. An absolute bunch of Intellivision games on this collection. Really cool to have this. Over 60 Intellivision games on this collection alone. You get to relive the 80s in style. Love it. Love it. I wish there was a Commodore collection though on the PlayStation 2 or something like that, because that would be really good. However, said that, I do have a Commodore 64 Mini. But you guys know how I feel about that. Intellivision Lives, cool to have that, and this is also complete with a disc and manual. Alright, next up, I mentioned on the PlayStation 1 a game that I thought was a real hidden gem, and there is a PlayStation 2 sequel to it. It is Jade Cocoon 2. This game series kind of combines what you would know from Final Fantasy and also the Pokemon games to make a really good game, and I do enjoy these quite a lot indeed. And this one is a bit more ridiculous. It's got like animated cutscenes of anime girls saying nonsense, so it drifts a bit from what I liked from the first game, and it also made the battle system a lot more complicated. But other than that, it's still a really good series. I recommend grabbing the PlayStation 1 game, and that one is very good, Jade Cocoon, which I actually spy on my game hunting videos. So guys, on Monday, I'll be posting my next game hunting video. You guys will want to look out for that one. Next up, we have Jet Iron GP, another Wipeout clone. Really, there's not much else to say about this other than it's a Wipeout clone. It just plays exactly the same as Wipeout. So moving on. Alright, next up, the 007 Agent Under Fire. You'd think, hey, why wasn't this at the start of the video, 007? Well, if you look on the spine, it says James Bond 007. It doesn't even say James Bond 007 in Agent Under Fire. So where do you put this? Where do you put this, guys? Do you put it in the O's? Do you put it in the J's? Or do you put it in A's? I don't understand. So this game has no home. Hey, no worries, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you later. This also has the disc manual. Good games, good games. And this is also first-person shooter. Some of these were third-person as well. I can't remember which ones. Next up, we have a really, really good game, and it is James Bond 007 in Nightfire. Again, you know, it says James Bond on the spine, so I put it in the J's. Where else do you put it? I don't know. Love this game, actually. Used to play it a lot, I think on the original Xbox with my friends, with multiplayer. Back when multiplayer was a lot more easy to do, you just plugged another controller into the console and you didn't have to worry about online profiles and all that junk. Everything or Nothing was third person. Ah, that's it then. So some of them are third person. Alright, next up, I was just like, I'm losing track of myself, but got back hold of it. Next up we have Judge Dredd, Dredd versus Death. Batman vs. Judge Dredd is one of my most prized comics. I really like that. This is a cool game. It doesn't have Batman in it though. J's, it says James Bond. Yeah, it's just one of those weird things. Like, where do you put it? I Am the Law. This is a pretty cool game. Nice shiny cover. It's not bad. It's a first-person shooter. I feel like they could have done more with the Judge Dredd universe. All right. I knew we'd get to this eventually. So it is Kessen. I talked about strategy games in the Dynasty Warriors style, in the Dynasty Warriors style, and this is it. Cool game actually. This is unique because it has a character on the spine, which you don't see a lot of on the PAL spines of the games. So it's a little different. Complete with disc and manual. There you go. And next up we have Kessen 2. Because if you've got Kessen 1, you've got to play Kessen 2. Just took everything the first game had and built upon it. Good game. Kessen is familiar, but you never played. It's cool. I would recommend going with the Dynasty Warrior games or the Samurai Warrior games because they're a bit more action orientated. Here's Kessen 3, which I haven't played as much of. They promise, of course, action and strategy, but they're much more strategy orientated than they are. How about Killer 7? I do not believe I have Killer 7, unfortunately. Although I do have No More Heroes for another system, which I think is in the same game series, if I'm not mistaken. Next up, we have Killzone. I think Killzone is fine. It's a first-person shooter. I don't love the Killzone games. I think they're a little generic, like, you know, shoot me, whatever. But one of these games, I like the manual though. The manual's really nice. That's you know, like a newspaper or whatever. One of the Killzone games, I can't remember which one it is. I just, you know, at the very start of it, you're in a place and you just get shot to bits, and I couldn't do it. I was just like, whatever. I'll play other games. Same creator, not the same series. Okay, thank you, Jonan. Well, at least there was some connection, so I wasn't being completely crazy. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts. In a lovely reflective case, actually. I only got this recently. I wasn't really into the kind of Disney meets Final Fantasy, but since I saw gameplay footage of it, PlayStation exclusive Killzone, ooh, I'd be more into it. But I need to grab the rest of these games. Actually, I have other versions on different consoles, but I need to grab the originals. Also, you guys might notice. Hey, Biophoenix, welcome to the stream, my friend. You guys may notice I have in here as well. I got this like this. I got it in a charity shop. I also have this exclusive demo disc. I don't know where this demo disc came from, but it is it's pretty cool. This is a demo disc by itself for the game. I keep it in the case because I might as well. I don't know how hard it is to find that demo disc, but got it in there as well. Insert simple and clean. How are you doing, Biophoenix? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining the stream. Next up, we're on to the PS2 Tomb Raiders. First up, we have the Tomb Raider Anniversary Collection. And this is also on different systems as well. You might be better off playing it on other systems, but this has an absolutely lovely case. So that's kind of, this is the collector's edition. So, the case for this looks amazing. Check this out. It's fold out and it's got all kinds of stuff going on. It just looks beautiful. So that's really what I like about this one. Then you got yourself the, you got yourself all this kinds of stuff in here. Oh, there you go. And I think, yeah, it's got the manual included as well. Nice, very nice edition there. I need to get a box protector for this as well. Alright, next up, we have another Tomb Raider game. Tomb Raider Legend. I don't know much about the PS2 Tomb Raider games. I'm much more familiar with the PlayStation 1 Tomb Raider games. And then I kind of dropped out of the series for a little while. For the reason of a game that I'm going to show you guys next. He has big guns. I mean, what? Tomb Raider is a great game series. And then I got back into on the PlayStation 4 games, which I actually really like, and I've streamed a couple of them. This game, Angel of Darkness, you either love it or you hate it, but you probably hate it, right? You guys may or may not know, I did a video for Amy from Let Me Live Gaming where I destroyed a copy of Angel of Darkness with a hammer and a giant wrench. If you guys want to go check that out, it's on the channel somewhere. Probably my most polarizing video. My most polarizing video on the channel. I guess people can't take a joke, but there you go. It was done in jest. I still have the game. I don't hate it that much. I more did it as a bit of stress relief for Amy, who really had a time when she streamed this game. So I said, yeah, I'll destroy a copy for you if it makes you feel better, and I did. Tomb Raider pretty much killed off Idios. Yeah. Alright, next up we have Largo Winch, Empire Under Threat. This is an adventure game. It's a bit like a point and click adventure game, but it's not point and click. You can move around, but it plays like that kind of adventure game. I think I'm missing the manual here, and I am indeed. No manual in there, but it's an interesting game if you like adventure games. Next up we have Legend of Dragon. This is an animated style fighting game. There's not really that much to say about this game. It's definitely a budget title. Definitely a budget title. You can tell by looking at it, but you know, it's very colourful. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't call it a gem. Glass Rose Wish was PAL and Japan only. Ooh, is that like a horror game? Next up we have Legend of Excalibur for the PlayStation 2. I played this recently. It's not great. It's like a tactical game. It's kind of interesting, but it's not that great. I also overpaid for it as well because where I got it from, it had another disc in there as well. So the guy charged me for the extra disc. It was Retro Replay in St. Austell. He's always weird with his prices. Sometimes I get great deals, sometimes not so much. But I didn't know much about this game, so I picked it up for like £7. I wouldn't pick this game up for £7. Horror-ish, but it's point and click. Ooh. I actually quite like point and click games. One of my favourites is Borg, a Star Trek point and click game, which is full motion video on the PC. But it's really hard to get working these days because it only worked on Windows 95. Next up we have Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. I love Star Wars. Set phasers to Force, and you know, there is only June. There you go. Build and battle. If you control the spice, you control the wars. There you go. When you enter the Stargate, you can get to all kinds of different Star Warses. Yeah, it's a cool game. It's quite fun, actually. Award-winning sequel as well. And I don't know why that is there, because it means I'm out of sequence, because this one should be first, I guess. Lego Star Wars, the video game. I wonder why, actually. Oh yeah, it's no. There's no reason. There's no reason. I thought this one said the original trilogy, and this one said the video game. That might be why I put this one first. But this one does. This one does say 2 on it. So yeah, whatever. My organizing is just wrong there. You got some lore mixed up, possibly. This is a platinum case. One of the versions that has kind of a little bit of black on it and the red platinum sign. So it's a different version of the platinum case that you might see. Still ugly as hell. Still has a silver disc instead of a regular disc. Let's just move away from that one. Hey, no worries, TM Klosky. Thanks for sticking around, my friend, and thanks for watching the stream. I appreciate it, buddy, and I will see you next time. Alright, next up, we have Mafia. I believe I originally found this in a charity shop, but the version I had was kind of broken. It's an interesting game, GTA style if you like GTA. There you go. Alright, next up, we are on to another game from the Disgaea universe, actually, which might surprise you. It is Makai Kingdom. I want to say Makai, it could be Makai Kingdom. Chronicles of the Secret Tome. Probably haven't heard of this game. It's actually really good. You can see on the front 9 out of 10 from Games TM. It's actually really good. It's part of the Disgaea universe, I do believe, anyway. It is a strategy RPG. Really interesting game. Makai always looked interesting. It does indeed. I don't have the manual, but I found this really cheap. I think I got it from Big E's Games and DVDs. They always treat me right. Next up, we have Mako Shao Demon Sword. It looks like the back of this has a little bit of water damage. This is a hack and slash shooter. Interesting game. There's a little bit of water damage. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not looking great. And that is artwork, but the paper is kind of smudged up a little bit. You probably can't see it on the camera. And this is complete with the manual and the disc. You played this game? It looks pretty badass, actually. I got a lot of games like that. They're really cool. Next up, Malice, an interesting cartoony platformer where you carry around a big hammer. Pretty cool game, actually. Another unsung game, Malice. Pretty good looking game. There's nothing wrong with this game whatsoever. There is the manual and the disc in there. I also had a copy of this where it had the kind of shrunken cover with a border that was a value range. I prefer to get the full cover if I can. You often see those kind of shrunken covers where they're like inside of a border with like a white border on things like the Midas Pocket Price range on the PlayStation 1, but they have things like that on the PlayStation 2, and I just prefer to get full art if I can. Next up we have Mana Khemia, Alchemist of Al Revis, I want to say. This is actually a special edition, and I think this came with an art book and all kinds of stuff like that. Alas, the special edition box for this is up with the rest of my special editions in plastic containers at the very top of the shelf, so I can't grab it. But this is a special edition. You love the Dreamcast version? I've got to grab more Dreamcast games for sure. This also has the disc and the manual in there. Anime hype! I know, right? Mako Shao rules. Nice. I think I may have other games in the same universe, actually, when we get to it. Next up, we have Max Payne. Love this game. I really do. The only thing I don't like about Max Payne is it's got a really weird difficulty system, where if you do quite well, the difficulty will just ramp up to ridiculous, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when you play this game, it's going to be hard, no matter when you play it. But a great game. Absolutely a classic, Max Payne. I prefer playing it on the PC, but you know, I like having a plug-and-play version. It's done by the Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, cool. I do have Shin Megami Tensei games coming up, actually, and some really good ones, actually. So stick around for that. And next up we have Max Payne 2: Fall of Max Payne. I really wish there was like an Xbox 360 or PS3 version of this, because the PS2 version doesn't look great. It honestly doesn't look great. The original Xbox one looks a little bit better, but they don't compare to the PC one, which is what I played originally. But you know, I much prefer playing on console because it's way easier to set up. It's just plug and play. You don't have to install anything. You don't have to worry about patches and all that nonsense. Max Payne was Matrix before the Matrix. I know, right? I also don't have the manual in here as well. Kind of disappointing. Max Payne 2 on the PC had a really nice like fold out opening cardboard case, and it was a casualty of water damage in my game room. So sucks. But so I'm stuck with this one. But what are you gonna do? Next up, talking about games from series. This is from the Ghosts and Goblins series. It is Maximo. And Maximo is like a hack and slash game. It reminds me a lot of Medieval. If you guys have played the Medieval games, cartoony style, very cool game. Honestly, guys, if you haven't played Maximo, you want to check it out. He has a similar thing from the Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts games, however you say it, however you want to say it rather, depending on which system you have it on, or which game. If he gets hit a couple of times, he's going to lose his armor and be running around in his underwear. It's kind of funny. Don't have the manual in this one. And this is one of those pre-owned games that someone's written P on it, which is really annoying. But yeah, what are you going to do? Better have it than to not have it. Reminds me, actually, I didn't know I was missing the manual for that, and I saw it for like £4 at the gaming convention I went to recently. You'll see that in the footage when I upload that on Monday, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't pick that up now because I could have had it complete. Next up, we have Maximo Army of Zin, and I get like a Evil Dead Army of Darkness feel from this cover. I love it. Another great game in the same series. You've got to love it. He's back in action. This one likewise is complete with the disc and the manual in there as well. Alright, next up we have reached the MGS Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and this is the this is some kind of special edition. It doesn't have anything written on it, but you can tell it's got a transparent case. That's very unusual, and the text is all in silver, which makes it really hard to read. But this does contain something special in it. It is a DVD, in fact. Yeah, so you have a DVD in there, which is pretty cool. Metal Gear Solid 2 is such a troll. I know, right? But was it Raiden? Was his name? He's pretty though, right? Yep, there you go. All right. Next up, we have Metal Slug 3. Love the Metal Slug games, absolutely love them. I have a collection of Metal Slug games on the Wii. The collection also came out on the PS2. I don't have it on the PS2, but you can still play it on the Wii with normal controls. Great game, complete with the manual and the disc. Easier to get it this way than it is to get it on the Neo Geo for sure. Going in, you've only played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 thus far. You play Snake for the first, and then some unknown Raiden character. I know, right? But Raiden's got such booty. Next up we have Mission Impossible. This is a stealth game. You guys know how I feel about stealth games. And it is complete with the disc and the manual in there as well. Next up, we have an unusual game. It is Mobile Light Force 2. And as you look at this, you might be thinking, what is this, MVL? Is this some sort of Charlie's Angels game? It is not. It is actually a completely different game that has been changed with the cover and the main menu to look different. It's a Japanese shooter. You know, great graphics, great gameplay. Just has been given a makeover for the European release for some reason. Still a great game despite the rebranding. Mobile Light Force, there you go. And I also recommend Mobile Light Force on the PlayStation 1. Exactly the same cover, actually, which is really funny. Alright, next up we have some Mortal Kombat games. Let me have a look here. First up we have Mortal Kombat Deception, and this is complete with everything in it. I think I also have a couple of extras as well. So there you go. Snake Eater is the best. Castle Shikigami in disguise. It's a sweet game. I would like to get the original actually. As well as this, I also have the Mortal Kombat Deception bonus disc right here. Which is separate. It's like a DVD. Pretty cool to have that. Interesting. Nothing really special about the insides though, but there you go. There's a collector's edition DVD that did come out. It's hard to find, but I do have it for Deception. And then I found this in a charity shop, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's like a promo video, and this just looks, you know, it's just really cool. It's nice to have. I don't have Deadly Alliance yet, but I do have this DVD, so that'll be going next to it when I do get it. So that's pretty cool. Little promo. I got this for 50p in a charity shop. It was just with the DVDs. It was pretty sweet to grab that. Alright, next up, more point and click stuff with Myst Free Exile. This is a point and click adventure game. It's got a lot of full motion video in it. This is supposed to have a strategy guide with it, but it just doesn't. But I still got it. Better, easier to have play them on the PS2 than it is to set them up these days on a PC. Right, next up. I don't know if I told you guys, but I have a crippling need, and that need is for speed. And this is Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition. And it is nice and shiny on this case. I really like how this case looks. And there you go. Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition, complete with Collector's Edition content and the game itself and the manual. Need for Speed, pretty cool racing game. It's got more going on than your average racing game, which is quite cool. No Manhunt. So Manhunt I have on the original Xbox. My copy of Manhunt is missing the outer sleeve actually. So I have Manhunt on the original Xbox. You'll see it on my Xbox game showcase thing that I'm going to do, the same as this. You know, I'm losing the power of words. But it's from I got it from CEX, and the insert, the cardboard insert, the paper insert rather, I can't speak, is fake. It was just one they printed themselves, so I technically only have the loose disc of it. This is New York Race. It's a racing game. It's kind of based on the Fifth Element, but it's not directly based on the Fifth Element. Kind of interesting, but I wouldn't say it's very good. It's very visually nice looking though. It's got a good look to it, and of course it is complete with the disc and manual in there. Nope. Next up we have Ninja Assault. This is another light gun game. Guys might not have heard of this, but it is a really fun game. It's nice and wacky, featuring ninjas. It's all good stuff. Love this game. Based on a taxi scene from Fifth Element. Exactly, Jonah, exactly. Ninja Assault, great light gun game. If you like light gun games like I do, you want to pick this up. Next up we have a fairly obscure game. Obscure. Yeah, you guys saw what I did there. Survival horror game. Cool game. I believe it's 2-player as well, which is pretty sweet. I can't remember if I also have this on original Xbox as well, but it makes me think of a little bit of Silent Hill. Interesting game. Cool that it's 2-player. Next up, a really good game, and it is Odin Spear. This is a 2D hack and slash game. Really cool game. I believe it's had a modern re-release, right? But this is the original PS2 version, and it's a great looking game. Very interesting game. Have it complete with the manual and the disc. Good to have that. Heard a lot about this one. Yeah, I believe there's a new version of this, like a HD version. So you can get new copies of this as well. Next up, Total Hidden Gem alert, Total Hidden Gem. It is Uni for the PlayStation 2. Another game in the same style of a game I showed you earlier that I forgot the name of. It is a beat 'em up. I think it was called Enemy Unknown, I forget. It's a beat 'em up and shoot 'em up game. Really cool. It's got a wacky anime art style. It's very cool. I showed you a game like this earlier, like very much like this. This game's actually from Rockstar though. Got to complete with the manual. I had to upgrade my copy of this actually from my original, but great to get this game, and you can find it really cheap, guys. Really uncheap, really cheap. Next up, we have Onimusha 2. Not much to say about this. It's a hack and slash game. Actually really cool. You get to beat up demons and all that good stuff. But I'm missing the case because it got damaged. Did I play this back in the day? I did play it. You know, as well as that game that I mentioned earlier. I showed you the game I showed you earlier that had 2 case variants of it that I showed you. I've honestly forgotten the name because I'm so yeah, even forgot what I'm saying. But you get the idea. It's a game like that where there's just beat 'em up. Onimusha is so much fun as well. I know, right? I've been trying to get the case for this for a reasonable price because I've seen it around, but I just haven't seen it. You know, people don't want you buying just the case; they want you buying the disc again. And you know, I need to get the case because I lost the case due to water damage. Next up, of course, it's gonna be Onimusha 3, because why not? Another great game, hack and slash, almost Devil May Cry style. complete with all of the good stuff. Actually, I think I'm missing the manual because this is just a Capcom releases. So I'm missing the manual for that one, but what are you gonna do? And then, as well as that, I have Onimusha Warlords, another great game, absolutely great game. You guys, if you haven't played it, play it. I insist. I won't go anywhere until you play it. But yeah, it has the disc and the manual. So that's good. And next up we have another game I had from back in the day. It is Orphan, Scion of Sorcery. This is a really interesting game. I guess you would also kind of call it a beat 'em up. You use magic and stuff like that as well. I actually can't remember how the combat is like in this, but I'm pretty sure it was like that. One that I sunk a lot of hours into back in the day, and I haven't picked up in a long time. It is a good game. At least I remember it to be a good game. It's not a game that anyone will talk about really. Complete with the disc and manual. Love it. I do also really like this kind of style of art on the case, but you have to be a bit suspicious when you see artwork on a case and not gameplay, because you kind of wonder like, were they not confident enough to show the actual graphics? Next up, we have Persona 4. Complete with a soundtrack CD. There are two variations of this. One does and one does not have a soundtrack CD. You got to look for that red bar on the bottom that has soundtrack CD included. Persona games are obviously notoriously good RPG games. As you can see on the back there, it says 9 out of 10 from Edge. Ooh. Hey, no worries, Jonan. Thanks for being here, my friend. I will catch you later, buddy. There's the soundtrack CD. I don't believe it came in. I don't believe it came in this, but I put it in this to protect it with the disc and manual. I'll catch you later, Jonan. Thanks for being here, buddy, and I will see you next time. Actually, in fact, I will see you, Jonan, most likely during D&D, as we're going to record D&D tomorrow. So there might not be there should not be a stream tomorrow because we're supposed to be recording D&D, but you never know. You never know. Things happen. Last week we missed D&D because someone was sick, but we're planning to do D&D tomorrow, so we should be recording it, but there won't be a stream tomorrow because of that. So on Sunday I'll do a slightly longer stream than I would normally do on Sunday. So normally on Sunday I'll go for about 2 hours. I'll try and go for 3 hours as long as I can before I realize that work is a thing and that I need to be ready for on Monday. Next up we have Pilot Down, Behind Enemy Lines. This is kind of a stealth shooter game. We also do some stuff inside of a cockpit as well. It's not a bad game. It's pretty cool. I was actually pretty hyped for this game when I was playing it, but it's just the stealth bits are the bits that put me down, because the controls are kind of redundant in places, so it gets a bit frustrating. Next up, we have an awesome two-player game. It is Power Rangers Super Legends. I played this recently for one of my pickup videos, and it is a lot of fun. I picked this up for next to nothing. It's just a good old-fashioned beat-em-up. Kind of reminds me of Power Rangers on the Super Nintendo. No manual in here. The case is in really bad shape, and this is one of those cases. You see the PlayStation logo there, or if you can. It's going to be very hard to see. There's a PlayStation logo there, but there's no space for the memory cards. So you do get cases that don't have space for them. Next up we have Pirates, The Legend of Black Cat. There you go. This is kind of like an adventure game. You can do some hack and slash action, go around, collect treasure, do all the stuff that pirates do. Be a pirate, it says. It's an interesting game. I like how pink the disc is, actually. The disc is really pink. There you go. Alright, next up we have the Prince of Persia trilogy. So if anyone's wondering where are all the Prince of Persia games, MVL, here they are. This includes 3 of them. It includes Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones, Warrior Within, and The Sands of Time, all included in this collection. I thought it was novel to have this version as well. I also plan on trying to pick up the individual versions as well, but this is quite the collection. It's got 3 manuals in here, and they are 3 manuals, and of course all 3 discs as well. With that said, the clips that keep the manuals in place are broken off, or at least one of them has, so it's a little awkward to keep this all together, but I do try. Well, next up we have Primal. A really cool game from the guys that made the Soul Reaver games. Really interesting games. A lot of horror elements to this game. A lot of platforming fun as well. And this is complete with the disc and manual. Very nice looking disc and manual at that as well, if I do so say. And what have you got to have? You've got to have Primal. You've got to have the collector's edition as well. Lovely, lovely reflective case. Has that see-through style of case that you probably see on the regular DVDs a lot. This is just the same thing but reflective on the back. And this also includes, as well as the main game, it includes a DVD as well. So it's good to have that. And that is another example of a significant variant that I will want to pick up. Next up we have Eden. This is like a multiplayer third-person shooter. You can play 2 players on this. It's weird that it says like it says 2 players on the back, but I'm sure I played this with 4 players. So yeah, you can play this up to 4 players in multiplayer as well. A lot of fun, interesting game. Eden. I know it's been ported to different systems as well. Welcome back, CM Chris. Good to see you, my friend. And it's also complete with the disc and the manual. All right. Next up we have Project Minerva. Professional. This is a strategy game. It's a really weird strategy shooter game. It's quite cool. There's a lot of like really interesting cutscenes throughout this game. It's very cinematic. It plays very strategically as well. So there's something quite interesting about it. But it is a very cinematic game as well, which is quite cool. Another Project game. We have Project Snowblind. This is a shooter, kind of generic shooter. But it's still cool to have it. It's actually pretty fun, complete with all the goodies in there as well. After that, we have Project 02 Crimson Butterfly, a survival horror game. And I know what you're saying. Where's Project Zero? Fear not. Pretty sure I have that on original Xbox. Don't have it on PS2. I'm pretty sure I have it on original Xbox, so you should see that, assuming I'm not mistaken. On the when I do my original Xbox collection video. Fatal Frame, that is true. You guys know it overseas as Fatal Frame. We call it Project Zero over here, and I think also in Japan. Really cool games using the camera obscura to witness ghosts. Honestly, love these games. I have this as well on the original Xbox, and the original Xbox port is better. It's got some better extra stuff. Same thing with Silent Hill 2 actually. The original Xbox version is better, but still glad to have this. Next up, we have Project 03, The Tormented. One of the harder games to get. I'm still working on my side quest to grab all of these. Eventually I'll have them all. I recently picked up the Wii U version, which only came out physically in the UK, so I'm very happy about that. I got the collector's edition of that. And there you go. There's also one that only came out physically in Japan, which is a real bummer, and that's on the Wii. Next up, we have a great shooter. Fatal Frame, very scary. I know, right? Genuinely scary. When I was recording gameplay footage for a pickup video for one of them, I was genuinely unnerved. It's the kind of game you want to turn the lights out for. Next up, we have our Cyveria Complete Edition. This contains a couple of Cyveria games on it. Great shooters. This is in very bad condition, but I got it for a great price. Bullet Hell Brilliance. Love it. Complete with the manual and the disc. Absolutely love it. Can't recommend it enough. Even though this is in real bad condition, I would try and pick up Cyveria if you love shooter games. Talking about shooting, Quake 3. Quake 3 Revolution though. Quake 3 Arena is what I played so much on the PC. So much Quake 3 Arena. Love it to bits. On the PS2, not as good, definitely, but you know, still good to have it. Still good to have it. And this is complete. Try and be as complete as I can with my collection with disc and manual, if I can help it. Another shooter. This time we're talking about R-Type Final. Great version of R-Type here. R-Type landing on the PS2. Great to have this. I love shooters. Absolutely love them. Can't get enough of shooters. And this is also complete with the disc and the manual as well. You were about 16 or 17 when you played Quake on the PC at college. Yeah, see, when I was at college, someone also managed to get it on the system. So we just played that a ton. It was so much fun. R-Type is great. It is indeed. It isn't great. It is indeed. It is great. Like I found an R-Type collection on the PlayStation 1, and it was at the Comic-Con and Gaming Fest that I attended recently, and I really wanted to pick it up, but I also had those games elsewhere. Oh man, I want to get so many versions of them. Next up we have Ratchet and Clank Locked and Loaded. There we go, easy for you to say. The Ratchet and Clank series is a series that I'm actually relatively new to. I haven't played them previously. They're great platformers. Trying to grab a lot of these because they're really good. Ratchet and Clank, complete with everything there, even though the case is gonna break. Next up, we have, talking about good platformers, it is Rayman Free Hoodlum Havoc. You know, not as good as the original, but I'll give it to them. They kept making Rayman games. Love the disc art and the manual art there, actually, really nice. Alright, after which we have Realm of the Dead. Zombie killing at its finest. This is a hack and slash. You just destroy all of the zombies. It's so much fun. A game I would recommend if you just want to get a lot of stress relief. Realm of the Dead is the game for you, my friends. It's a good game. Next up, we have Red Dead Revolver. First game in the Red Dead series. You guys probably know Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. Great game. I was thinking about streaming this, but I heard that there's copyright issues with the music. You remember the cover as well? I know, right? Realm of the Dead is funny. Yeah, it's like sometimes simple games are the best, actually. Sometimes simple games are just great to just plunge your time into. Red Faction. Actually, I think this is what I was thinking of when I was talking about Killzone, where I just got stuck like right off the bat. Not on Red Faction 1. Red Faction 1, you're in some sort of caves at the start, I think, and it's actually pretty fun. The Red Faction games are first-person shooters. Join the revolution. Join us. So this one's pretty cool. I believe these have just come out from Limited Run Games on the PlayStation 4 if you want to grab a modern version of them. Red Faction 2, I believe, is I think you just get like thrown into combat right at the start, and I just died. So I haven't played this one that much, but certainly a renowned game series, complete with the disc and manual right there. All right, the Simple series. All right, so it was Simple series, yeah, because I have a couple of games from the Simple series, like the Demolition Girl was a Simple series game, and another one I'm going to get to down the line was as well. A lot of them did get released in Europe. Simple 2000 and alike. Red Faction came out on the Switch. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Next up we have Red Ninja, End of Honor. This is a pretty cool stealth, oh, I'm forgetting the name of the game series. Not Ninja Gaiden, you know what I mean, the 3D one. I'm looking around my collection to see if I can see the name of the bloody game. What is it? No idea. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a ninja series of games on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. We're gonna get to them actually, and I'm gonna feel really stupid for forgetting the name. But there you go. Where Honor ends. Yep. It's a really cool game. Red Ninja. Yeah, it's a sweet game. What game series am I thinking of, my friends? Because I can't remember it. We're going to get to some games from it, I'm sure, anyway. Alright. Alright, there we go. So it must be Tenchu. I'm looking. I just saw what it is, because I was like, it must be past R. It must T. Tenchu. It's like the Tenchu games. There you go. Alright, we're on to some Resident Evil action, my friends. First up is Resident Evil 4. Now, I actually think the Wii version is probably one of the better versions to play. Because it has, all of the additional content on it, plus you can use the Wii controls, which really work well for it. Resident Evil 4, of course, is a great game on many systems. Thinking of Tenchu, yeah, it is Tenchu that I'm thinking of. Indeed, it plays a lot like Tenchu. It does Red Ninja. Here we have Code Veronica X, which is also on the Dreamcast as Code Veronica. And this includes a demo disc for Devil May Cry. Really cool game. Love the Resident Evil games. The PlayStation 2 entries to the series were pretty good. Hey Sherlock, welcome to the stream, my friend. There's the demo disc included, and it's complete with the disc as well, except it's upside down. There you go. PS2 version is bad. Yeah, there are better versions out there. Next up, we have to talk about more light gun games. Resident Evil Dead Aim, one of the Gun Survivor series. Love this game. I've live streamed this. I think I live streamed it for Biohazard TV on the charity marathon. It's a great game. Absolutely love it. A lot of people don't, but then I guess a lot of people haven't played it with the light gun. And I love light gun games regardless. Complete here with the disc and manual. Dead Aim's save room theme is so good. I just really enjoy the game. I like how you can move around and then use the light gun. It's kind of Wii controller style. Next up we have Resident Evil Outbreak. This is a bit beat up because it was subject to some water damage, but it was savable. The game next to it was not, however. This is complete with the disc and manual, but they have suffered some amount of water damage. I may need to replace it down the line. Next up is Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, no case. The case was destroyed. Sorry, it got victim to water damage, so I only have the disc now. It's a real shame, but you know, I'd rather have it than not have it at all. Alright, more Resident Evil actually we're coming to. I think I'll grab them as piles. It's much easier that way. So I'm not reaching down, unless you guys love seeing the top of my head, that is. Alright. Will we see an Outbreak File 3? We may indeed down the line. Resident Evil Survivor 2 Code Veronica. Now, ain't that a mouthful? And it's a mouthful of crap, I'm afraid, because this is not good. This is Code Veronica, but as an arcade light gun game. It's part of the Gun Survivor series. Honestly, guys, it's not good. It's not. You kind of will be ruining your experience of Code Veronica if you play this, so I really wouldn't recommend it. All of the other Gun Survivor games, I think, are better than this. Next up, we have Jet Li Rise to Honor. This was actually paid for by donations to you wonderful people, so thank you so much. Especially to Slayer768, because you guys were mentioning this game, and I was able to get it through your wonderful donations, so thank you guys so much. It is a beat-em-up game, great looking game, looks amazing, and it is complete as well. I like to get them complete if I can have them. Next up we have a first-person shooter, Robotech Invasion. I've seen this on the original Xbox as well. It's a very colourful looking shooter, very interesting looking game. I haven't played it that much admittedly though, but it is complete with the disc and the manual as well. Alright, next up, a game I recently picked up, and you will see this on my game hunting video, which I will post on Monday. It is a Rogue Galaxy, an RPG for the PlayStation 2. Love RPGs. I've seen gameplay footage for this, so I knew I had to have it. Really good looking game, and it is also complete with the disc and manual in very good condition as well. Alright guys, let's get ready to rumble with Rumble Roses on the PlayStation 2. There's also a Rumble Roses on the Xbox 360. This is the PS2 version. If you guys are familiar with the SmackDown games, the WWF/WWE SmackDown games, this is exactly the same thing, but it's like it's an all-girl version, girl-on-girl wrestling action, as it advertises on the back there. You know what you're getting when you step into this, really. It is exactly what it looks like. Essentially, I imagine someone saw one of the WWE games and thought, let's do that, but with all girls. You get a lot of all-girl fighting games, so I guess it's not out of the question to get an all-girl wrestling game, although you know why they did it. With that said, it uses the same game engine as the SmackDown game, so it actually has really good arcade start paced action. So it actually plays really well. Next up, okay, this is what I was thinking of earlier when we were talking about Gladiator. It's Rune Viking Warlord. It's not good, guys. This game is not good. I think it was also on PC, and the port is just kind of not good on the PlayStation. It's just a pretty bad game. It looks like I'm missing the manual here, but I still have the little send away sheet with Take-Two Interactive. So send all of your complaints, guys, to that address for Take-Two Interactive when you play this game, and it's going to be many a complaint, I imagine. All right, let me grab a bunch as well. Again. All right. Next up, we have Rygar, the Legendary Adventure. This is a 3D kind of hack and slash, Devil May Cry, I would say, style of Rygar game. Really interesting. Really interesting that they continue the game series in a 3D perspective. So that was pretty cool. This is also complete with the disc and manual, but likewise no space for the memory card. Although this could have been just a DVD case that I got this in, and whoever sold it to me just put it in a different case. So that could be what's going on there. Like, I was really good. Yeah, it is actually pretty good. I've also got that on the Wii. I also have it on the Wii, I think. So it's a sweet game. Next up, we have Samurai Warriors. This was an offshoot of the Dynasty Warriors series. Very similar gameplay, but with just a little bit more stealth. Really good, actually. I really like this series. It also continued on to the Xbox 360, and I have some of those as well. I'm sure I had more of these. I'm sure I had Samurai Warriors 2 on the PS2, but it must have been destroyed by water damage, alas. I still have the first one. Next up, we have Savage Skies. It's yet another game where you battle atop a dragon. It's as if that is as if that's very popular in gaming. Savage Skies, you battle on top of a dragon, all that good stuff. Next up, Scalar. When I originally saw this game, I thought it was a rip-off of Spyro. Honestly, I did. It's actually really good. It's a platformer. It does its own thing. Even though from the surface it kind of does look like a bit of a Spyro rip-off, but it's not. This is also complete with the disc and manual. It's got a really involved story as well. The cinematics in it are really involved, and the characters are really interesting. Next up, we have Second Sight. Ooh. Alright, set your sights on this. This is a horror game. Love horror games, can't get enough of them. This is pretty cool. I think that this is missing the manual, and indeed it is. You can tell by the weight of them. And next up, we have the Sega Classics Collection. Unforgettable Gaming History. So this is a collection of Sega games that have been redone in 3D. You've got like Golden Axe in 3D there as well, and stuff like that. It was an interesting choice. I'll give them that. They're not bad versions. They're 3D versions. The American version of this also had Alien Syndrome on it as well, a 3D version of that. We didn't get Alien Syndrome on our PAL version because it was removed to keep it at 12, which is a real shame because that would have been sweet to play Alien Syndrome in 3D. But we got what we got, and you know, the games on it are fine. They're fine, but I would have preferred the originals. What you played with Second Sight, it was pretty neat. It is a neat game, I know, right? Alright, next up, I'm going to drop all the games on the floor, guys. Next up, we have Shadow Hearts Covenant. Yeah, Covenant, there we go. I got a bunch of Shadow Heart games. I'm actually just missing Shadow Hearts, which is really awkward. Picture Rage 4 is a Sega game. You can't wait to be released. Yeah, that's coming out soon, isn't it? I really hope there's a physical copy. These are cool turn-based RPGs. I absolutely love them. I'm missing the first one, though. As you can see here, this game spans on multiple discs. Someone asked why earlier, so they can fit more story on it. Gives you a bigger game, so it's all good. It's all good. Alright, next up, Shadow Hearts from the New World. Doesn't she look like a Final Fantasy character? I'm blanking. She looks like a lady version of Tidus, right? I'm not wrong, am I? Great games, very cinematic, very good looking. It looks from the clips on the front there that this game may also play in widescreen, which would be pretty sweet actually. Shadow Hearts is your favourite RPG series. It looks great, doesn't it? It looks absolutely great. I need to get the first game in the series. It's the one I'm missing. I've just never seen it for a great price. That's a dude on the cover? Oh, okay. You know, I played it for a little bit actually, and I didn't remember that character, so it was a dude, yeah. All right, so let me see which way round were these. They were this way around. Okay. Let me just grab the others while I'm at it. I dropped a bunch of these on the floor just now. Professional. You're treated to a professional streaming experience right here. The kind of stream that goes offline about 10 minutes in, and then it doesn't show online for me. So I'm asking, hey chat, can you still see me? And they're saying yes, and I'm like, really? Okay. Okay. From that dude on the cover. Sorry. We go to Shadow of Rome. Reminds me of a recent game actually. I don't know what it's called. There was a game recently that had Romans in on the Xbox One. I think it was an exclusive. But there you go. It's kind of an arena combat game yet again. Pretty cool with the case and manual right there. Alright, next up we have Shadow Man, Second Coming, sequel to the game that was on the PlayStation 1 and the N64, and I think also on the Dreamcast. Horror game. You get to do lots of cool stuff in this game. It is a cool game. Also complete with the disc and the manual in there as well. Alright, we're on to the Shin Megami Tensei games. First up we have Digital Devil Saga, the first one I've got here. And this is a cool game. You know, they're really cool RPGs. I'm glad to have them. I would love to have more from the series actually. They're all really sweet games. Some of them feature characters from different games as well. I think the game I showed you guys previously actually had a Devil May Cry character in it, which is pretty sweet. There you go. Complete with a disc and manual. I have these in the wrong order. Yeah, so I should have shown you this game first. I'll just put it at the back, otherwise it won't make sense. There we go, and Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2. Really cool again. Love the artwork on this. And the cutscenes kind of look like an anime DVD, don't they? Really good looking stuff. Disc and manual in there. And after that, I also have Digital Devil Saga 2 Collector's Edition. Slightly rarer version to have. This is also complete with the disc and manual. Nothing really different there, but it came with an original soundtrack which comes in its own case. So that's the collector's edition content right there, and it's cool to have this, and that has the original soundtrack included. Alright, and then this game I should have shown you first alphabetically, but it's Shadow of Memories. A recent pickup, a very unusual game. I think I only got this for £5. Pretty cool, but I did just drop the games a moment ago, so that's why they're slightly out of sequence. They shouldn't be from this, because that's all of the games that I've stacked on the floor ready for this video. So now I have to actually just pull them from the shelf going along. But yep, there we go. Professional, guys. Professional. So next up we have, as I lean over to grab these, we have Shin Megami Tensei's Lucifer's Call. And I think, oh, this is the one featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series, it says on the front there. There we go. There's that question answered. More of the series right there. And likewise, I keep my games in alphabetical order if I can help it. I think I got this from a gaming shop in Bodmin. It's missing the manual, but I do have to go back there at some point. It would be great to do some game hunting there. Let me just fix the order of these games so I can actually put them on my shelf back in the correct order. There we go, when it comes to it. Next up we have Shinobi. This is a 3D game. Really cool, actually. Really cool game. I will take this out to show you guys it. But yeah, Shinobi on the PlayStation 2. Really awesome. This is in very good condition. Part of the reason I put it in that case. And it is all complete in there as well. Shinobi, I know, right? Good to have that. And that's another good thing about these cases, is anything bad happens, hopefully it happens to the case and not the game. Alright, I seem to have a couple of discs here. Okay, we've made it to Silent Hill. And this is probably my biggest woe out of the water damage we're about to go on to. It is my copy of Silent Hill 2. No longer has the case, and it was the collector's edition, which came with a making of DVD as well. So I have the DVD and I have the disc, fine, but it had a beautiful case. It had a beautiful case, man, that you could open up, and there was, you know, extra goodies in there as well. But the water damage screwed it up, and it was destroyed. So I need to get the case for that again. It bugs me, man. But I do also have Silent Hill 2 Inner Fears on the original Xbox, which is a better version of the game actually. So there you go. Is it a remaster or remake of the original game? I don't know. It's very different because it's like a third-person hack and slash with a bit of platforming to it. So I actually don't know. But yeah, indeed, that is sad, my friends. But what is not sad is Silent Hill 3, another great game. Love the music in this game. But actually, talking about the music does make me a little sad because I have the soundtrack to this game, but I had to order the soundtrack separately. I think I had to order it from eBay. From Spain, and at the time, you know, eBay was less prevalent, at least it was to me, and it was a real pain to do that. It's a remake, that's cool. It was a real pain to do that, and I only found out after that you guys overseas in America, you just got the soundtrack in your copy. You got a free soundtrack, at least in some copies, and we didn't. I'm so mad because I love the soundtrack to this game. But yeah, so we don't get the soundtrack over here. You guys get the soundtrack for some reason. That's fair. But there you go, Silent Hill 2. Here we go. Next up, Silent Hill Origins. Another really cool survival horror game. Going for that side quest, trying to complete the set. Complete with the manual and the disc in there. Alright, let's grab some more. Next up we have Sly 2, Band of Thieves. Really cool game, kind of a stealth action game. Very colourful art style, very similar to Ratchet and Clank. I'm missing the first game, but I have the sequel. Really cool actually, this gameplay does a lot of cool stuff. After that we have Soldier of Fortune Gold Edition. Really cool first person shooter, just so much fun to blow stuff up, shoot stuff down, do all of the chaos. It's a really fun game. And of course it's got all of the Gold Edition content as well. Obviously it would be better to play this on PC, but this is the copy that I have. Next up we have the Sonic Gems Collection for the PlayStation 2. 3 must-have hits, including Sonic CD and 6 bonus games. So it's got Sonic CD on here, which I already have on the Sega CD, to be fair. And Sonic the Fighters, and Sonic R as well, and 6 bonus games. Game Gear versions of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic Pinball, Sonic Hedgehog Triple Trouble, Sonic Drift 2, Tails Spy Patrol, and Tails Adventures. I actually did not know it had those additional games on it, so that's pretty cool. This is also complete with the manual and this, but I don't have the Tails games on the Game Gear actually, so that's really cool. Then after that we have Soul Calibur 2. This game series had different bonus characters depending on the console you had it on. On the PlayStation 2 here you had Hayachi. I think you had Link on the Nintendo system. Cool fighting game. One of the fighting games I actually love. This and Tekken. I didn't know it was a sequel. I just didn't know, man. I didn't know. The case here is kind of busted, kind of broken, which is unfortunate. But I keep this case together because it has the sticker on it, and I'd have a hard time transferring that sticker to another case. So there, until I find a better case, that'll be the case. Next up, let me grab some more of these, and they all fall down. Next up, we have Soul Calibur 3, of course, another cool fighting game. Takes it on. GameCube had Link, and Xbox had Yoda / Darth Vader. Yeah, the Xbox chose not to put their own characters in. So in other Soul Calibur games, they put Spawn or what have you in, and Yoda and Darth Vader. I just think it was a really cheap. I guess they didn't think that putting Master Chief in would be good enough. I don't know. Whatever. They chose to not use their own characters. I thought it was pretty cheap. Soul Reaver 2 there for the PlayStation 2. Great game again, complete with the disc and manual. Excellent game. Was it Spawn? I can't remember. One of them had Spawn. One of them did have Darth Vader. I can't remember. I can't remember which one. Space Invaders Anniversary. This is the Space Invaders game you were looking for, man. Awesome arcade style experience on PlayStation 2 with Space Invaders Anniversary Edition. Space Invaders game you're not looking for is Space Invaders Invasion Day. This is kind of taking it a little too far. It's like a 3D remake. Gonna be a bit of a RPG, I guess. I don't know really what they were going for. Notoriously stupid story to this game. Notoriously kind of iffy gameplay, but you know, it's still Space Invaders. Alright, here's another Simple 2000 game actually, guys. Another Simple 2000 game, Special Forces. It's like a stealth game where you take out terrorists and free hostages. It is a fairly simple game, as you know you would expect, but it's actually fairly hard to come by. And I got it in a charity shop for like £1. I think it goes for a lot more than that. But there you go, Special Forces. And here we have our Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I think this game, one of the Sphinx games, right, got a remake recently. I think on modern systems. There you go. That game is awful. I know it's awful. I played it. It's real bad. This is complete with all the stuff in it, including like a little THQ little fly thing. I'll try and keep together. Alright, all of these games are falling down. What am I going to do to try and like mitigate that? There we go. Let's grab these and show some of these off. Make sure I got them in the right order as well. Don't want to drop them. Have everything out of order. You're out of order, mate. Next up we have Spy Fiction. An interesting stealth game, actually. This game is really cool. I'm not good at stealth games, but I do actually quite like this one. It's really interesting. So I do enjoy playing this. You can also play as a male or a female character in this. A man or a woman, I should say. And they each have different abilities. Cool game. I like it. Next up we have SSX. Yes, my friends, SSX. Great series of games. Absolutely great series of games. Love them to bits. Good, fun, fast-paced gameplay. Can't go wrong with SSX. Spy Fiction is made by the same guy that made Deadly Premonition. Ooh, that's sweet. That's pretty sweet, actually. SSX 3 is next up. I actually have Deadly Premonition on one system. I can't remember which one. Yep. Take on the Mountain. I don't know why I'm showing you the back of this. You know what SSX games look like. You know what? I think I'm still missing SSX Tricky. So that sucks. SSX Tricky is a game I love to bits, but it did get destroyed by the water damage. I think I have it on original Xbox, but I don't think I have it on PS2. So that sucks, because I love SSX Tricky. SSX, yes indeed, my friends. Next up we have Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. Awesome RPG. I also have the bonus disc, the collectible bonus disc, which is most certainly pretty hard to find. The game itself is an awesome RPG. I love RPGs, it's just they take up so much time to play. It's the only bad thing about them. This is complete with all of the good stuff in there, as you can see. Especially if it's the right way around. Star Ocean is good RPG, I know, right? And the bonus disc is in there as well. There's the bonus disc for Star Ocean. Alright. Next up, we have Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. Oh my goodness, guys. I really wish that YouTube was more lenient on copyright. I would definitely stream this game if I thought I could get away with it, but you know, I never will with the music. It's a first-person shooter set in the Star Trek universe. It's a good game. I like this game a lot. I think I originally played it on the PC. Missing the disc, missing the manual here, but still have it. Still good to have. Can't even talk. I played Star Ocean 2 and enjoyed it. They're great games, right? Next up we have our Star Wars Starfighter. A Star Wars game I haven't put a lot of time into, but it's a spaceship combat game. Missing the manual for that one. Alright, game's not gonna fall over. Don't fall over. Don't fall over. Okay, there we go. Nice. Alright. Oh my goodness, my guys. Oh my goodness. Looks like things are heating up because we've got Summer Heat Beach Volleyball on the PlayStation 2. I stream this and it's really funny because I wanted to stream. I might stream this again for April Fools if I am streaming around that time. It'll be a good one because it will look even more vibrant through my pound HDMI cable. You need a fan. You know what, guys? Despite what it obviously is, it's not bad actually. It's no Mario Tennis. I haven't actually played the Dead or Alive volleyball games, but actually when I streamed this, I got fairly invested, and it's quite funny because that That game, that stream picked up a lot of views after the fact, which is really funny. Evidence to, I don't think people are watching it for anything other than the obvious. But there you go. So I think that's kind of funny. Alright, next up we have Summoner. There's an RPG where you summon stuff. That's about all I can say about it. It's kind of hard to get past the clunkiness of this game. But, you know, it is a pretty cool game, and there is a sequel to it, which I also have, which is Summoner 2. There you have it. It's an interesting game. Hug and like. Hey, Geronimo. Hug. 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 How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. This is complete with a disc and manual. Good to see you, Geronimo Alpha, my friend. We still have a fair few games to get through. Next up, we have Siberia 2. I believe you can get all of the Siberia games for the Switch right now, guys. So if you want to pick up the Siberia games, they'll run better on that than they do on the PS2, especially the PAL PS2. When I play this, I notice it runs kind of slowly. It's really weird, but it's probably because it's not optimized for PAL, or it's the PS2 limitations. No Sniper 2. No, I need to pick that up actually. I need to pick up Sniper 2. It's complete with everything. Yes, you can. You've seen that. Yeah, I know, right? It's really cool that there is a Switch version. Oh, I'm opening this before showing you it. Siphon Filter, my friends. The Omega Strain. Didn't really like this as much as I like the original games, but it's another Siphon Filter game, so I can't complain about that. They're fun games, and the disc is upside down. There you go. I should stream it. It's the best. There are so many games I need to stream immediately, actually. It's in a similar situation to, I have a list of games that I'm looking for to try and acquire, and that's endless. And my list of games I want to stream has become somewhat endless as well, in fairness. Sword of Destiny. There you have it. This is a cool hack and slash game. Interesting hack and slash game. Nice. Actually, probably one I would consider as well when I come to Hidden Gems. Probably one I would put up there as well. Sword of Destiny. Sweet game. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Tekken 4. Love the Tekken games. Absolutely love them. Just all the way with Tekken. All the way. How can you not go all the way with this game series? Absolutely love them. We're going to come on to some that... this also has a bonus disc as well. Slightly harder to find with the bonus disc. Tekken 4, hell yes, I know, right? Even more of a hell yes. Tekken Tag Tournament. Yes. I think this is the one that had Tekken Bowl, right? Tekken 3 had Tekken Force mode, which I really love Tekken Force mode. I think this had Tekken Bowl. One of them also had volleyball, I think, but it wasn't really volleyball. You just, you know, punch the ball or whatever. But another great game, Tekken Tag Tournament. This is in really bad condition, but you know, it still works, and it's still got everything in there. Blue disc with Tekken Tag Tournament? Let's find out. It is indeed a blue disc. Okay. Alright. Next up we have Tenchu. There we go. We got to it eventually. Tenchu Fatal Shadows. I actually really like these games because you're not tied to stealthing. You're not tied to stealth. You can go and just beat people up. So I actually do really like this game series. Some of them are a bit more clunky than others, but certainly I gotta love them. You're gonna play a bunch of games with PS5 retro compatibility. I will believe it when I see it, Geronimo Alpha. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm saying that I really want it to happen, but I really just don't believe they'll do it. But I want that to happen. Don't get me wrong, man. I really want it to happen. I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't see Sony letting you play games you already own for free. I don't see it. But we'll see. I might be wrong. Maybe the PS5 will be amazing and it will play our old games. That'll be awesome. But I don't believe it will. Next up we have Tenchu Wrath of Heaven as well. Another cool stealth game. Open it up, it has everything in it. Tekken 4. Kanazawa, I can never pronounce any of those names. Changing his fighting style. Yeah, I believe so. Wrath of Heaven was your favourite. Oh, don't fall. Oh, they fell. They keep falling for me, don't they? Next up we have Tetris Worlds. Really, really strange Tetris game. Come on, guys, it's just Tetris. Kazama, I can't do it, guys. You should have seen how long it took me to say Kakariko Village in Zelda. It was, I mean, it took all the way from, I think 3 Zelda games we streamed before I could say Kakariko Village, and I'm still not sure I'm saying it right. But there you go. Yeah, oh, I was talking about this game, wasn't I? So, Tetris Worlds, it has a really stupid story to it. It's really extravagant, like, you're going through Tetrion portals to save an alien race by building Tetris blocks, and like, I don't know if you guys have played Unreal Tournament, where there's like an option where you can change the Mega Kill voice to like a sexy voice who's like, Mega Kill! But there's like a sexy voice whenever you complete a Tetris. You completed a Tetris, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, we did get to it. The Getaway. Parental advisory. I have all of the gubbins inside of here as well. It includes, I think I have the map and the little poster in here as well. So that's cool. Cool game. And if you've got the Getaway, you've also got to have the Getaway Black Monday. And yep, Mondays, I know, right? And this also contains all of the little extras inside, which is nice. And next up we have the Snow Queen's Quest. This, I don't believe this game is even on my Darkadia, my game list, which there's a link in the description for that. It features the voice of Richard O'Brien. Richard O'Brien from the Crystal Maze, if you're a fan of that. It's an adventure game. It's really bad. I only picked it up because it had Richard O'Brien's voice in it. It's like a fairy tale type thing. There you go. It's really bad. Getaway is a fun game. It is indeed. Next up we have The Thing, survival horror game. I actually really like this game because I really like the Thing movie, not the remake that was also called The Thing. You know, I don't mind that actually, but I wish the Thing remake, which they also called The Thing, that's stupid. It's like having a sequel to Halloween and just calling it Halloween. That would be stupid, right? Anyway, with that said, yeah, I actually really do like this game. Goblin 215, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream, buddy. It's good to see you. You do like the cover art, I know, right? I actually would have liked the Thing remake if they'd used traditional practical effects, which they did, and someone had the idea just to, you know, digi over the top of it. So they should release a version with the original effects. It would be really good. But I love this game. I love this game, and I didn't hate the Thing remake. It's just I didn't like the digital effects. Annoyingly, there is pen on the disc and on the freaking manual, but what are you going to do? Rather have it like that than not have it at all. And then next up, we're there. We've made it to Time Crisis, my friends. I love light gun games. That's most of the reason why I still have a CRT TV, that, and, you know, it's really good to play retro games. How you doing, Goblin, by the way, my friend? It's good to see you. I absolutely love Time Crisis games. You can't take them away from me. I will hold them dear to my heart until I die, and it is just awesome. Time Crisis, and the only thing I'm missing is I never managed to grab myself a pedal, like a pedal to duck. That would be really good if I could get something like that. And we have more Time Crisis coming up, I'm positive, I don't even have to look. It is Time Crisis 3. Yeah. Alright, more Time Crisis action. Love Time Crisis games, how could you not love them? If you don't love them, then we have to duel to the death. Oh, it's good to see you, Goblin. Awesome to have you here, my friend. You're amazing, buddy. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Alright, and the disc is upside down here, but look, I have these. I've got so many light guns themselves. I've got a vast collection of light guns. One, which you might be able to see in the background, next to my Xbox stuff, is one that looks like an Uzi. It's in the box, but, you know. Next up, another classic game, Time Splitters. I heard that there's a new Time Splitters game coming out. This is a first-person shooter. These games are absolutely great because all of the characters are different. Every single character skin is completely different. They really went out of the way to make this game good. Oh no, my friends. The disc in here is actually a platinum disc. Avert your eyes, don't look at it. I'll have to replace that. It's not a platinum case. I must have been able to... my disc must have been faulty. I must have switched it around. That sucks. I love that game back in the day. Time Crisis was so much fun in the arcades. Yeah, I spent, I think at one point I spent £15 in a row on Time Crisis in the arcades, and I thought, damn, I could have bought a platinum game for the PlayStation 1 for that price. I was like really stupid. But yeah, the how I feel about it is like light gun games are an arcade experience in your own home, and it's one of the best things I love in gaming. Next up we have Time Crisis 2, Time Splitters 2. There we go. I can talk. 10 out of 10 from PlayStation 2 official magazine. Absolutely love this game as well. I believe you can stream it on YouTube if you just turn off the music. I think it's fine. And there you go. It's complete with everything as well. The disc is upside down. That's going to really bug me. Alright, next up. Ooh, we have one of my old favourites, my friends. Definitely a hidden gem. This is one of the first games I got for the system, actually. It's by Squaresoft, and it's The Bouncer. This is a 3D beat-em-up game, and I really like it. You know, it's actually pretty short. Hey, Elvis Roa, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing? Elvis is in the building. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you. This is a really interesting game. It's got a lot of animated cutscene action as well. Digital animated, I should say. It even describes itself as an action movie. It's a really good game, actually. I love it. I love it. Alright, next up. We have... Oh, I actually didn't think I had this. It is The Matrix Path of Neo. So I do have it. I just didn't like it as much as Enter the Matrix. But it is a fine game. I really loved Enter the Matrix, though. So maybe this just didn't have the same experience. The Bouncer, you have a love-hate relationship with that. Yeah, I think I just had a lot less games at the time when I was playing it, so I just had to play it through. But you know, one big disappointing thing about The Bouncer is it has no two-player, and well, I think it does, but not on the story. I can't remember, but it's just that's a big disappointment. It really should. Nice one indeed. All right, my friends. Let me try and keep these in order. There we go. No, I've already gone out of order, haven't I? Because, yeah. Oh, well, never mind. Because, Time Splitters should have been before this, right? Yeah. Okay, never mind. They're out of order. Everything's out of order. You're out of order, mate. You know what? I will just do these in whatever order, I guess. So, Time Splitters Future Perfect. It was in the wrong place. This is what happens when your games go out of order randomly. Time Splitters Rewind is the new game. Ooh, that sounds cool, actually. I actually really do try and keep my games in as good order, but obviously at some point when I was arranging them or rearranging them for this video, I managed to put them out of order. Look at that. I've been monkeying around, wouldn't you say? I've been monkeying around. But it's also important, as well as having your game list. I have mine on Darkadia, which is in the description, my whole game list. It's really important to keep a track of your game list. Otherwise, you will end up buying the same game twice or losing a game. Games make you feel, oh, I know, right? That is because No One Lives Forever. The operative No One Lives Forever. No first-person shooter. Really cool game. Glad to have this on the PlayStation. I think one of the other No One Lives Forever games is only on the PC, but this one made it to the PlayStation. So on the operative. And as you can see, I've gone out of alphabetical order, so we'll have to figure that out later. And next up, we have the Red Star. This is a really cool. It's kind of like a platforming bullet hell style game. It's really interesting. I definitely recommend giving this one a go. It is really cool. It's a lot of fun. Plays a lot like a shooter, except you're a person. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this one. Red Star is underrated. It definitely is. It definitely is underrated. Alright, next up we have The Seed Warzone. This is a very recent pickup. It's a space combat game. I'm yet to play it, but it does look pretty interesting. You'll see it on a future video game pickups video with gameplay footage. And don't forget, guys, I have a lot of video game pickup videos on the channel. You can check out. They'll have gameplay footage for every game included. These live collection videos are just a lot of fun to show you all of the games, but obviously I can't include gameplay footage like this. Next up we have The Sims. I actually really like The Sims games, but only on the PC. I think I only got this because it was an easy plug and play solution. I don't even believe I've actually played this at all, to be fair. I played all of my Sims games on the PC. We have a million expansion packs. Hey, Transformers and video games, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing? I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream, my friend. Next up, we've finally found our way to Tony Hawk's on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Gotta love this game, gotta love the music in this game, gotta love everything about it, really. Welcome to my world. Isn't Welcome to My World a line from Nightmare on Elm Street? Welcome to my world, bitch. I know I normally never swear, but I was directly quoting there. Nevertheless, it has the manual and it has the disc in there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is so good. They are, right? And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 as well. I think in some of these later games you can make your own characters as well, which is really cool. And this has the disc and the manual in there as well. Alright, ooh, the end is in sight, my friends. We're there. We're close. We're on the tees. We're teetering on the edge. So next up, we have Tony Hawk's Underground. You're doing it underground now, my friends. Again, I think you have the ability to make your own skater on this and play a story mode, which is pretty cool. So that was pretty interesting. And this contains a lot of gubbins and stuff like that. So there you go. Hey, Drewski, Gone Gaming, welcome to stream, my friend. How are you doing? I am having a fantastic day. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is next up. Another cool looking game. Oh no, I got a sticker on the back. It has to go. Well, it's take that sticker. I do not like stickers on my games. There you go. There you go. Unless the sticker's meant to be there. If it's like meant to be on the case, like it's telling you there's a demo disc inside or something. But if it's just a random sticker someone's put in, I don't want to have it there. Alright, next up. Turok Evolution. The official soundtracks to Tony Hawk's games are so good. I know, right? It's both a blessing and a curse, though, because they're so good, but you could never have that on a YouTube stream, could you? Complete with a disc and manual. You know, Limited Run Games recently did Turok 1 and 2 on the Switch. They look so good. I really wanted to pick those up. That would have been sweet. Hey, no worries, Juicy Gone Gaming. Good to see you, my friend. And thanks for stopping by, buddy. Next up, we have Twin Caliber. This is like a twin stick shooter. You can move both sticks on the analog sticks to shoot in different directions. It's a really weird game. It's like a horror game, but the controls are kind of bizarre. Twin Caliber. It's actually pretty good though. So I would probably describe this as a hidden gem. It's a horror style game as well with a lot of blood, guts, and shooting. Next up, we have Twisted Metal Black, a vehicular combat game. Many of you will know this game. Many of you will know of this game. An absolute classic on the system. Absolutely. Alright, next up, we have Underworld: The Eternal War. I had this on a very recent, your favorite TM game, nice, BioPhoenix. I had this game on a recent video game pickups video. And I honestly don't recommend it. It's kind of like a hack and slash with shooting elements to it, but it's just really monotonous. Like the levels, you just follow a predetermined path, and it's just not good. It's not good. Next up, we have a game that is good, and it is Unlimited Saga. I believe I bought this from Blockbusters back in the day. It's an RPG. This is in some really cool games are falling over. Never mind that. It's in some sort of cool case. It's an RPG. It looks really cool. This one did survive water damage. I used to pick up games from Blockbuster all the time. Because once they'd given a game its amount of time when it was new, they would sell it off secondhand, often really cheap. So it was a good way to get games. Blockbuster's how you miss them. I miss them so much because it was like the only place in my local town you could get games from. There's like almost nowhere in my local town you can get games from. But this is in it's really nice case as well. I'm really glad this survived the water damage. Ooh, and I almost dropped it. Really nice extras in there as well. I mean, check this out. It just looks really cool. So many cool extras. So many cool looking characters. Very colourful looking game. Complete with a bonus disc there as well, with Final Fantasy X2 demo. Ooh, all right, good catch. I know, right? It would have been funny if it had landed on the computer and also turned off the stream, because then the stream would have gone offline twice this time around. Next up, Every person you met played Unlimited Saga and they hated it. Ha! Urban Chaos is next up. This is the sequel to the other Urban Chaos game. I forget. I think it's on Dreamcast or PlayStation or whatever. But there you go. Another Urban Chaos game. Like the name suggests, it's just absolute chaos. And there you go. It's complete with the disc and manual. And next up we have Valkyrie Profile 2. Sim Mel Era, maybe. There you go. It's an RPG, my friends. One of the Valkyrie Profile games. Fatal beauty it boasts. Cool game series. I need to get more of these. They're spread all along different systems and all of that good stuff. So definitely want to pick up more Valkyrie Profile games if I can. It's not that a fantastic game, I know, right? This one I actually really like though, even though this isn't a fantastic game, but I love it. Vampire Knight. This game is so bad, it's good. It is a light gun shooter. You guys know I have a special place in my heart for light gun shooters. It doesn't matter how bad they are, I love them anyway. And this is really cheesy. Like it's kind of like House of the Dead. It's kind of like a House of the Dead game, but like the translations are really bad. So like the characters will come in and one of them will be like, "We are vampire hunters," and the other will show up and be like, "Yes, vampire hunters," and it's just such bad translation. So it really detracts from the kind of otherwise cool experience of the characters. But a game I actually really like, so it's a horror light gun game. Alright, next up, don't fall, they fell. Try and keep these in place. Next up, we have Vex. This is a peculiar platformer. The main character has claws so he can climb up stuff and do all kinds of crazy nonsense. It's actually a really cool platformer. Underrated game from Acclaim. And that is complete with the disc and manual. There you go. After which we also have Beautiful Joe. Many of you guys will be familiar with this game. Awesome game. Also features Trish and Dante from Devil May Cry, which is kind of funny. So that's pretty cool. And that is also complete with a disc and manual as well. Really interesting game. Here we have Virtua Fighter 4. I believe there are numerous editions of this game, many different editions. So I don't think this is the complete version, but it is the version that I have. Virtua Fighter 4. Valkyrie Profile 2. Oh no! Oh, you meant now a fantastic game. I mean, not a fantastic game. You know, it's mixed opinions. Some people actually don't like RPGs. I like RPGs, but they just take a lot of time to go through. Warhammer 40k Fire Warrior, first-person shooter set in the Warhammer universe. There you go. In the 41st millennium, there is only war. You play a Tau Fire Warrior. You love RPGs, Goblin? I know, right? I love RPGs. The only thing I don't love about them is I can't really play an RPG and other games at the same time. I don't know how you guys are, but I just can't mix and match RPGs with other games, because otherwise I come back to the RPG that I was playing and I forget what I was doing entirely. Next up, or forget the story, I should say. Next up we have, but as an adult they're hard to finish. Exactly, Goblin. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Next up we have Warriors Orochi. Another kind of, I think this is a clash between Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors in this game series. It's a very big game series as well that's still going to this day on the PlayStation 4. My manual seems to be loose inside of this, but I do have the manual in there as well. Try and get those back together. And next up we have Way of the Samurai. This is like a hack and slash RPG, I guess I would say. It's another one of those games where you've got to be more defensive than you are offensive, and your decisions matter as you play this game. It's a very interesting game. I played this a long time ago at a friend's house. I didn't have it for ages, or it might have been a demo disc. Either way, I picked it up a while ago at Goldmine, which is a good find. Next up we have Wild Arms 3. I love the Wild Arms games. Wild Arms on PlayStation 1 is a good favourite of mine. I love the art style, and I love the Western theme in anything out of the ordinary, like a turn-based RPG or a light gun game, as we saw previously. And this is also complete with the manual and the disc in there. Alright, next up we have World War Zero, post-apocalyptic first-person shooter with zombies. Good stuff. Missing the manual though. Just got the disc. Alright, my friends, we have made it. We have made it to the wrestling games. We mentioned it previously with Rumble Roses, the SmackDown series. First we have SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, WWE in this instance. I think maybe the PlayStation 1 games were still WWF, but before the transition. Absolutely love these games. Arcade action, a lot more than I love the new games with the wrestling sim style play, where they're a bit slower. I much prefer these original games. And here we have Here Comes the Pain, probably the best known to be probably the pinnacle of wrestling games. Here Comes the Pain. Very good game, very good story mode, all around pretty good. And it's as fearsome as Brock Lesnar himself. Alright, let me grab the last batch and try not to knock anything down. Well, I did. Never mind. Never mind that. Alright, some more wrestling games here. We have SmackDown versus Raw. Over there. This is where I feel like it started to go downhill, because they started doing... although this one, it has a bonus disc in it as well. And this bonus disc is... Before They Were Superstars Volume 2. So it's kind of a pointless pack in, but I do remember getting this. I think it was from Game, actually, that additional content. And here we have SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. They started to get £1 a penny at this point. When they were making them yearly, they stopped making big advancements. And there's a trading card bonus in there as well that I got with it. An additional bonus. I like keeping those. Some of these as well I'm missing. I think I'm missing Just Bring It, because that was damaged, so I really need to pick that up. 2008 featuring ECW. ECW, you kind of the re-envision of ECW in WWE was kind of as bad as you thought it was. It just wasn't ever going to be ECW rather. It was always going to be like a style of developmental for WWE, which is something NXT has become now, which is much more successful. But presenting something as Extreme Championship Wrestling was just not. ECW and WWE was just so bad. I know, right? Because I remember, like, there would be a pay-per-view with ECW on, and you get Taz on commentary going, "We're like the other wrestlers, but we're a little more extreme," and it's just, no, you're not. You're just exactly the same. But talking about extreme, here's Extreme G Racing, XG3. It's a racing game on motorcycles. Pretty cool looking. Haven't played much of this. I don't play a ton of racing games, but it's still cool to have it. And this is also complete with the disc and manual. I'm trying not to I've tried not to confuse, mix up my words when I'm saying WWE, ECW and WCW, because I remember reading an article that said Eric Bischoff was the mind behind ECW, and I'm like, don't you mean WCW? Because, you know, Paul Heyman was behind ECW, Eric Bischoff was behind WCW at the time when it was on the Monday Night Wars, and Vince McMahon, of course, is still leading the way with WWE. X Squad is next, a cool shoot 'em up game, a shooting game, I should say. My words lose me at this point because we're so far in. 3 hours of PlayStation 2 games. You've been enjoying, my friends. Thanks for being with me through all of this time as we near the end of our epic PlayStation journey. And I have games surrounding me, all around me. Oh my goodness. Just to give you guys a look of what I'm dealing with. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. It's just all around me. Alright. And let us not speak of the poster on the wall again. Let us not speak of the posters again. Next up we have Ys, the Arg of Natip. Oh my goodness. Napishtim, there we go. Napishtim? I never touched him. Hey, Cactus316, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Your favourite PS2 game is Shadow of the Colossus. I don't have it on PS2. I really want to get it as well, because there's a version of it that comes with a really nice cardboard case. This is a cool game though. This is a hack and slash RPG. Ys. I've got a couple of Ys games on different systems, and it's good to have this one. And there you have it with a disc and manual in there as well. Next up, we have Zone of Enders. We're on the Z's, my friends. Z's. Sexy heist. Great game. I'm not normally a fan of mechs. I much prefer fantasy than I do to sci-fi in terms of robots. I actually really like sci-fi. I just don't like robots so much. I'm not a big fan of robots. But Zone of Enders is a good game. And not only do I have Zone of Enders, my friends, I also have Zone of Enders, the Second Runner. This is like an enhanced version. I spoke of it earlier in the stream that DLC wasn't really a thing back in the day. If they wanted to do an enhanced version of a game, they just had to release an enhanced version. So this is a special edition, and it includes extra content. Cool to have this. Very cinematic game. I believe that is the case. I don't believe it's a sequel. And there you go. It has the manual and the disc in there as well. And then that is actually the end of it. But the last thing I want to show you guys, because that's the end of the games. We've hit the Z's, and I'm going to need to hit the Z's myself after this is said and done. I will need to, after getting some, I don't know, I gotta get some food. I think someone spoke of delicious curry earlier, so I might make myself a curry. Someone was saying naan bread, and I want some of that. The last thing I want to talk about is this DVD Region X import player, which is something I picked up for like 50 pence, that I do actually intend to use, because one of the big reasons the PlayStation 2 did so well is because it could play DVDs, and that was such a big deal. And really, like, price-wise, it was such a good price to get it as a DVD player that could also play games. It was very well competing with the price of DVD players at the time, and certainly it was a big bargain point to get it. And I would, unfortunately, the pound HDMI cable I have for the PlayStation 2 doesn't work with DVDs. It plays them as green for some reason, which may well be by design. But, you know, I still use it, or the PlayStation 3, as a DVD player in my gaming setup. So it is very useful for that, and it's good to be able to watch DVDs from different regions as well as play games from different regions. So maybe in the future someone could do something about region locks so I could play whatever games I want. I actually have an American PlayStation 1, I just don't have an American PS2. I want to grab one of those as well. But other than that, guys, we've reached the end of our epic journey today. Bulletstorm is coming out for the Switch. That'll be cool, actually. I still need to play through that on the Xbox 360. I only just started playing Uncharted on the PS3. I'm that far behind on games that I've only just started Uncharted, which is disgraceful, I know. But our future will not be Uncharted, my friends. Tomorrow there probably won't be a stream, because I probably will be offline recording Dungeons and Dragons for a premiere of that on Thursday. But on Sunday I will be streaming The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild once again, and we'll be exploring Hyrule and conquering many shrines and chatting and having a lot of fun together. And then on Monday, guys, I have video game hunting coming out from my experience in the Truro Comic-Con and Gaming Festival, and that was a lot of fun. That video is done and it is coming out on Monday, and other than that I'm working on the next video game pickups, and there's going to be many more streams and great stuff coming out as well. The Uncharted games are your favourite PS3 games? I know, right? What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to play the PS3 games, and then when it comes to it, I'm going to stream the PlayStation 4 Nathan Drake Collection version, so they'll look a bit nicer for you guys on stream, but I want to play the originals as they're intended. I did a similar thing with the Arkham games. I played them on the Xbox 360, and then I streamed them on the PlayStation 4 versions. But other than that, guys, we have reached the end of the stream. It's come to the point where there's no more PlayStation 2 games out of the nearly 300 over the course of 3 hours I've shown you through this video. So thank you guys so much for being with me. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for some more awesome content. All of the aforementioned videos I mentioned are going to be coming out soon, and a lot more good stuff as well. If you like the video, please leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Actually, you know what, guys, let's do a raid. Let's do a raid. Whilst we're here, don't go anywhere, my friends. Don't go anywhere. I'll find somebody. Yeah, I actually found the perfect person as well. So we're gonna raid Let Me Live Gaming, who is the person I did the video for destroying Angel of Darkness. So there you go. And yeah, we'll go put this link in the chat. I've got so many windows open. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a raid before you guys all leave. You may well have already done, but let's do it. I don't raid so much these days. It'll be nice and a lot of fun to do it. So there's the link, and just put hashtag MVL raid in the chat when you get there to let them know where you come from. And that'll be Amy from Let Me Live Gaming. And then other than that, guys, let me get back to the outro. So if you do like the video, please sure to leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. And if you'd like to, you can also support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. It just remains me to say thank you for watching. I've been MVL, and I will catch you next time.